Week 167. Like languages and collective healing.
International Encounter Online.
With Ismaila Rodriguez and Michelle Moulet.
Balancing love frequencies.
Free entry. Ho, ho, ho.
Hello everyone. Welcome another week of light languages and collective healing. I'm here with Brother Wesley, Sister Michelle Mulet, Sister Melissa and Elga, and I'm Ismail Rodriguez. We are in the week 167, and we're gonna start like every week with some blessings to protect the space, to raise the vibration, and to tune into connections that we don't yet know what they will be. Atana kutesh atana tuana. But just to tell you, you see us a little bit high, is because we've been chatting for an hour and a half or more. And that's why we are here in this level of energy. Atoto intitiana. We are not starting this week like from low to high. We are already in that high level. Tumaka tu tiata kuata. So let's start with these blessings. And Brother Wesley is the first one in the screen. Etitiaka wata titianakata wata. Brother, all yours.
Shuatata, 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 wo kata tu ta ia huaka kia huka nakini ia mahuka nakuata hia hukaka hukata hia wahuata oshana kumba ea waho ea wa ho ewa ho ewa ho ewa ho ewa ho ewa hota ia ho ewa ho ewa ho ewa ho ewa tu akanuku ewa mbata Kunua ia wa hosua kana ia kata umo ia wa ukana kie ia mauta utata uta nie ia masukunua shinie uka kine ia ua ushana ukunuta i huta Baba ukana kuya wa osu akana ikini bata ukunuka ukaniki ushinu suka natai hua ia mama maukai mai uai hotuaka kaniki ya wahuaka Pasauta ia kata ni ya mauta kanukua shini ya huta wata ukani kuni kawa shawa kawa nia maya mawa hawa o ki ai au mau nai nau kanukua hata huka kia hu tai maya hia kanu shuka tai au Saya kani hutu akata kumai watuka kinikia maiata uka kunaka maiata mauaka niakaka kunga kinga eka uka nekia kunga eka Kutata utata nene ye uiwaka nuka ye pauka ye nauaka naiama maiawa mua shine bata uka nakini kiawa mutuaka nakunuaka Pasukunuaka ni wawa. Papa ini ye wo. Ni ye wo. Ni ye wo. Ni ye wo. Ni ye no ye wo. Muatata. Ni wo. Patu tu Papa huna kiawa usuaka siniewa mua Pawakataka kiniawa sukunuwa payakatukunuwaka tayawaka na uta kana suwakata na yawa mayawa tuwaka nawa uta tai mai e yu lu kina ia huka taya huka ia wa muka mama uta hikunuaka kunuaka ta kiniaki awa kunuaka ta shiniwata many blessings sukatata kiwakata amongst the planets shiniwaka and everybody here uiaka harmonic resonance sukuwata papa punuaka na kanua thanks very much shiniwa mawaka kinia kunuaka muaka many orders sukunuaka tawaka under the one pauaka kiniama muaka kini hiwa sukuaka kinawa thanks very much sukunuaka ta kunuaka Kawakataka. Peace and God bless.
Tukua. Thank you.
Mawa. Takunwaka. Tayawata. Chiwaka. Kuniwaka takunuwata tatawaka yawa. Mawata. Kinikiyawa.
Huata. Wonderful. Kakuwata. Tasokowata. Takuma taine tako kotoa tona koaka. Now, Michelle, Hatuka.
Wesley, was that the Cherokee collective that you were channeling?
Kunu wakata kanikia kuatata kunikia shenikia wukatakana kunukono waka taknikia mosu kono waka niea wukana kuaka shaya kutu wakata Hukuno waka. I would work with Shanakinia kono waka kanikia ko representation Shinawaka taku moaka takinikiawa. Many tribes. Sukunuwaka tia kotowa, the bird tribe. Shinia katukuno waka. Kinea waku katakana. Lots of transfiguration. Shinawaka kanikinikia kotowa. Sukunuwakata. Just unraveling, just unfolding. Sukunuwaka Takaniki ea wata wata. Sanua ea wata, many planes. Sukunuwaka, many oceans. Sukunuwakata, Sukunu, many realizations. Sukunuwaka Takunuwakata. Sukunu tu 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 tu. Kunukuwaka, consciousness. Sukuwakata. Niewa watata. Sukunuwakata. So basically the mathematics would be configuration of information and sukunuwakata, kunukiwakata, kumuwata. Iwa wota. Iya o ya. Kunuwaka? Did you get that? Shinuwakata? Did you get that? Yeah. Sukunuwakata. Many things, many branches. Sukunuwakana. Kunuwata. Shineo.
That was powerful.
Kunuwakata. Yeah, I would resonate with. Yeah, like I resonate with a lot of their yeah, not saying I'd study the stuff, but yeah, the transmissions or the information links would be can relate or correlate to many of them. Yeah. You get it. Yeah. Sunuwakata kunikyo kaishiwaka. Nuwakata. Batokunuwakata niyeya wukaniyeya wukaniyeya muwakata. Mwana wuwakata. And I'm getting just many blessings.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm just getting the kunuwakata. Kinikuwata. Just sukunuwakata, just to be sukunuwakata, kunikiwakata, moayawa. Sukunuwakata, piwa. Sukunuwakata. Big respect to Shakuwata. Mawamuwaka. Mewa. Shanawata, tuwakta. Kuniwaka, tuwakta. Kuyawata. Yeah. Sukunuwaka. Makunuwaka. Tukata kuniwata wata. Shinawakata. Senegyo. You know exactly what I'm. Kunuwakata, kiniyawaka, nayawa, yawata. Yeah, sukunuwakata, yawata. That was powerful. Sukunuwakata, kuniwaka, nayawata, yawata, nakuwata. Amazing times. Yawata. Mawa. Nakuwa.
Wakata. Thank you, brother. Hatuka and all these beautiful beings. Kakuata. They say that they are also here to transmit that feeling of overseeing everything from perspective and have that feeling of freedom. Katan tawa ka oto tiana. The bird beings kana kota oto saka. Yes. Michelle, do you want to go ahead?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's one thing I was just going to say it. Actually, there would be one thing that I could say, because it's funny as soon as you said it. There was a guy wanted to kind of share some stuff a few years back, and that's what I basically had to come in and say this is what's working. It's basically we were one of the ones connected to the mountains, trees, rivers. We come from systems, beyond systems, and it basically boiled down to it was basically the transfiguration of the information goes in through the story, this and that. So whatever came through was the bird tribes. So there's a guy. It's funny because I was like, going right, this is interesting, because the information coming through. So I was like, there was a couple of people said to me, I heard of the bird tribes. Thanks for sharing, whatever. And I was like, Yeah, this is just what they say. It's interchangeable as well in different ways. But there was a guy, actually came across, about 5 months later, there was a guy ended up channeling I think it's back in the 70s and 80s, but he talked about that the bird tribes were like an advanced, supposedly his consciousness that was more or less transcribed through some of the First Nations. So a lot of what I was sharing would have related to the books actually, and it actually relates to even some of on my journey. I went to across the states, and I went with a friend, a shamanic buddy, so he's connected to White Eagle, and a lot of the stuff that I work with. That's why he's kind of forming stuff that I work with. All the revelations was just super apparent. So the book kind of correlates to the information that I share. So yeah, so it's kind of so that's why you say about the bird tribes, because I came across the book about 4 or 5 months later. I was looking for it, I was like, what's this about? And then I came through a Reddit. They talk about light language. They talk about the star seeds transmissions. This is another one, and it talks about the planet starting to wake up. But it did talk about the transmissions coming through certain teachers going through the First Nations and them not even really ready for it, and how it flew over their heads in ways as well. And it kind of relates to a lot of my journey as well, kind of saying, right, Jesus. I question myself as in like, am I mad? Am I this and that? But then when it kind of started,
We all do that.
yeah, it's like if I might land in a First Nation thing, and I might start this or that, and then I'm like going, my human self is like going, did I say something wrong here? And then once I kind of go bring forth what I would have transferred through, it would totally dance off the octaves. Like it would just sort of, it would become on par for what I would be with research. So that's why you're kind of saying it on the. So I just say it with respect of the crew they work with, which would be the bird tribes, as well as many other systems as well at the same time. To be honest, half the time I don't even know. Like I don't even, you know, it goes beyond even me. Yeah. So yeah. So if you ever hear of the bird tribes, or if you come across it, it might, even some of the things that even some of the information that you're working with might correlate to that as well. So yeah.
Well,
That's
do
what
you
resonates.
do you resonate with what Wilma brings through, because that's who she channels too.
Yeah, well, what I picked up off Wilma at the start was she's very connected to the stone, the old stone thing, and yeah, I get. Sunuwaka tekiniki tu 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 gung ging du tu tu gung ging ging. So gung ding 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 ding. So there's
Complementary.
gunung ding 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 ding. Different different dialing wave bands, like we all, so different
Bandwidth.
different, but no, I totally resonate with Wilma, like with
Yeah.
the transmissions. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sanukun, and I'm just going to use the language just to train. Shukanu kata kumbu miye awu aye ni kumba kimba ni Did you get that?
If I can get a translation for you.
Yeah, no, you don't need to translate to me. I mean, when did you get it? Because this is this is sharing the energetics of it beyond the human capacity of understanding. So I just wondered, did you get that? Because the importance.
I can feel it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. That's all. That's all the thing. It's the because the mind can go, right, is it this or is it that, or this will with that, or do. It's the once you're gonna get the harmonics of it, actually, the resonance of it, which because we there's slightly different axis tones and there's slightly different things running. Streaming, yeah. Sukunuwaka. Siniowaka Tukuno, hopefully that was explainable. Chinuwaka Takuni Kiowaka Takuwa.
Beautiful, actually. Thank you.
Shukunuwaka. Tumuka ni Kiowaka. Kunuwaka. Shiniwata. Thank you. Sakunuwaka. Kinuwawa. Go ahead, but Shukunuwaka. Kunuwaka. Shut up. No. Kayowaka. Thanks very much.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, I'm going to bring God through then.
Sure.
Yurkinra kiatroto hoya kanyara gada. Tio koron dio gorenyaha. Tio korendiada. Karatoro donira gata dorodo. Oria giada. Ia konyara ka tio korodo. Oria. Ia rodorodo. Oru giadara. Chianiro godo. O ianya garada. Ia koroto ia. Chio koroto ia nyara karado o diaga ia toroto. Hoia ia nyara kara toroto ia tianya ha. Chio koroto a ia nyara karada. Iaka. Namaste. Just asking for a translation, please. My beautiful children, it is again my pleasure, the pleasure of the company of heaven, to co-create these beautiful, energetic tones you put out to the grids, to the universe. Although you may not understand exactly in the moment that you speak these languages, they go straight into the energetic grids and they help wake up all of humanity. What you're doing is monumental. It is multi-leveled. It is quantum language. It is healing. It is information. It is beautiful. Even if you were to just speak it out into the ethers, it will be picked up by the grids, by all beings around. They will feel the vibration. And during these times of turmoil, it is welcomed and so greatly appreciated. My children, you are being birthed into your new realities. You are extensions of me and your mother, of course. And we could not be more proud of you. just for your willingness to put yourselves out there. You have mine and your mother's full support and love. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Huakatusa tanaka umna. Infinite gratitude. Katunaka totnaku antua. Thank you. And now, Melissa, Hashukwa.
Thank you, guys. That was beautiful. I could even feel, like, before you did the translation, Michelle, I could feel the confirmation of your translation in my heart when you were speaking them. It just, my heart was just so full.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Areshakatia kotoya remeya te arashakatia makotoyo rashakatia katia ashikatia roshakotoya baya katayo roshakatia pakotoyo romananata iakotoyo reshikatatia rashatia ko uatia reshakotoyo remia iakatia roshakotia kotoyo remia natoshokoyo repatio korupaya Ia Katia Makoto Yoroshokatia Korabaya. Ia Natasha Kotoyo Rotia Pakotoyo Rotoyore. Ia Kayo Bai Notosha. Ia Katayo Rama. Atio Kototia Roshoko Ribiateo Notosha Kateo Rabaya Notoyara. Ia Katia Mosha Katia Notoyo Raemana. Iaku arabaya no toshakaya baya kotoyo remenitia kashaka iaro ro 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 rashata iaku ro baya karo bata ayokoro ro 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 ashakati okoto Boatia katatia romanana tia roshata yokora beata. Ya notosho koto yokutu. Ututu yoro Iya kayo watia notosho koto yoro monoto yaratata yarosha. Iya katia makata yokoto yore miyakate arosho. Ikiyamaka Yako Remanono Tiara Pakoto Yore Minitia Roshomanata. Oh, Wayakatayo Koto Yoro Shukoto Yomiyaka Yakoto Yoromata. Thank you.
Thank you, Marisa. Toaka, totaka. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hakuka. And now is Helga.
Give me just a few minutes here. I have to get back in again.
You're warming up. Do you want me to go first?
Yes, please.
Okay, Hachuaka. Magwa musa taika tos ao mahata te sanoka. Naka taumaka asinaka kuma. Ohu maka tienek and akota aku. Hadana tos ayu maka. Homus isha. Anohaina ka au kua. Natumaye. Shenea kaumpta. Kesene amwan. Ahanako ataya hu ta sesha woka. Oha takoka muhanaye. Ohuma tai iuko. Seichuk atoa. Oha umaka. Atahutat owaka. Ohat ato sau. Esaumaka. Amumata. Daumata ita kokoana. Anoka. Konaka uma. Tauma satoma tsanauma. Genianaka ako. Hoaika no hai makau ataitana umaka. Kanaka tao saiuto hatao taiua. Uama saumana. Aumana kanaina. Oiuaka duya. Oio amako anaio aikao taia. Kau mai tauma. Auakata. En auakata umana. Naka umana. Mana kaotana. Kontana mumana. Pubata muk ea mubata itauma. Na humata na. Sumo akauma. Onta naku o. Aua. Aua na uata. Ainea mua nakawa. Auma na ia wakana. Aua naka. Akukawa maka. O ia nai. Iwakaona. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kauhumanata. To Quintana. Shaka Humbata. Hatushana. All yours, love. Hatutana. Shawatana. And you want me to play the drum, something to tune you in more? Katawana. Just ask.
No, that's okay, but if you like to, you can.
Waka.
Whatever is so good, that's all perfect.
I'll do that later. Kawata. That's what they are saying. Kawata. You go ahead when you feel ready. Kanawama.
I heard two people talking, by the way, when you were giving light language.
Yeah.
The two people. It's one was giving completing what you were saying.
They were fusioning the frequencies.
Yes.
It was confusing in the beginning, but yeah.
No,
Then I say to my mind, wow, just don't judge, don't get confused. That let them flow through you. Kakuta nabuma. Because we have this tendency to try to identify and wow, and I felt more than one kawana.
Kara kahaya heya. Heya kahara. Kira oya. He kahaya. Haya katara. Hasa kiora. Kiara. hea ahara, kiota hea ka, kuruku tiaraki, ku oya hara, kiara sako o, aya namaha aya, aruma si kiora, iata kasa tiora kahaya adasi, kara kura kitiora, ku aya osa ko iya, arakata siora, iata kahaya, ekatiora kahaya, kuriata he kahaya vakaha, eonaha asati, kura kiara kahoyasa, hea kahoyasa, kura ahea hata hio kahara kahaya osia, kura kunyara ka, kura sitiora ka ahe ia o aya sakitio, kura kutia o katiara kasa, hiasa hea hahaya katara, kiora kahaya aita sitiora, kira kaha. Yata sakatiora kayata, kiora koyata hiosa eaka oti kiora eaha odi sikuata ikata yara kata siora, kira kaha. Ka easa eana ko hai ia iko dua ahi ara kasi kurikudia ora ko ia ahi o koto ia ha a asia taka kiara kata. Ah, kai ea sa te tiora ka ea asioda e kiara ka ohiata kia aita ka sa tiora ka ti kiara ka hi aya. Ora ki heiata, ki aoio o sioda, iti ki hara a kata sioda, e ki tiora ka heia ana masaki, ki ora kaiata, e ata e toia kataya o tia, kiriko oia hara, ki ara kata se tiora, ki hara kasi, ki ora ka haiata, ki ora kasi ata, kurikiata so tio kahata si kuruku ia o kuruku iata hikosiata kirukoyana sa kuona hakata si kuruku yasa katarka ekatio takatasi eya ka ora sutiora haya. Yes. Namaste.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chatata. They came powerful. You didn't need that much to warm up. Tawamata. Oh, amaka wata anata. They really so wanted to come out and talk. Hawumaka. Tasana Totiana. Tauma, lot of celebration, kawana, and recognition of what we were talking before. Kamumana ka annawama, our greatness. Kaumana ka ne kauma. Taumana, 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 taviua. Hotinaka kotana. Thank you, Elga. Hatushana.
That in the beginning that was Hathor, and Hathor were breaking down the negative or the what we want to call negative energies that are still on earth. And after that, somebody else came in, and it usually happens like that. Remember, Michelle? That somebody else comes in and brings soft love or something like that. Yeah. Wow, that was hot.
The theme for today is balancing love energies. Hanata Atuana. just what you just say, no? Like some
Yeah.
dense energies and then other energies, like creating balance. Kawama.
Well, yeah, exactly. We were talking about it too, you know.
Yeah, it helps us to discern. It helps us to see through. Ane anakata.
yeah,
Kawana. The contrast.
yeah.
Kantana.
Something happened to me. I don't know what, but something happened to me today. It's like a shift that I went through, you know. It's like I see more of the picture, let's say.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
It's happening, it's happening.
It's a big picture.
It's
And
happening.
it's amazing what they come up with, you know, and that we are not designed for all these kind of things. You know, we are designed for love and peace and harmony and all those attributes, you know. And we are actually all, when we came down in the very beginning, we were all human angels, you know. And then things went dark, if you will, until Mother Earth called for help, because she couldn't handle it anymore. She dropped into 3D and she couldn't handle it anymore. And that's when we came in, you know, and so we came in as there is no, from upstairs, they cannot intervene. You know, that's the prime directive that they have. No, they cannot intervene. Even if somebody would call from here, but they could not intervene, and that's why we came into a body. And we did the whole trip, you know, the trillions of years, I would say, that we came back again and again to bring Mother Earth back into 5D. And by doing that, it's what we never really understood was that we have to work on ourselves. We have been one mind swipe when we came here, you know. We have to be like everybody else. But that didn't really work because we were too bright. But nevertheless, every incarnation, or every time, every 26,000 years, we make one cycle of coming back into the photon belt. And that's where we are now. And that is what is accelerating everything. It was 4 times, I think, that it failed. People were not ready for it, you know. But the last 26,000 years, there must have been quite something, because people are ready now, more or less. You know, we have at least some people. And we are not some people. You know, we are not really people. And we're just, we came as undercover agents here.
We are miracles.
We are miracles.
Yeah, it's an inside job. Inside job.
Yeah, inside job. That's
Inside job. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all that what you find on the dark side, you find on the light side. The opposite, of course. You know, it's the absolute opposite. By the way, I'm really taken by that picture behind you, that painting. I love your painting. I forgot.
Wesley, are you talking to me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, and do you know what? This is the mother's house, and do you know what the mad thing is? There's a teepee in it. This is her. This is probably one of her paintings. There's a teepee in it.
Yeah, but I love it. I love the colors. I love the whole thing.
I know, and I walk past stuff, I don't even notice it. I don't even notice some things, but it's funny because I do. I did notice it when I received, but there's a teepee. It's funny because there'd be little stuff. You know the way. That's the way it's interesting. There's symbolism always around us, but it starts like this. It's the teepee. I see the teepee in it.
Yeah, I can see that. But I love painting. I love the whole thing.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah,
yeah.
it's nice. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, the colours are cool, and a lot of those colours are kind of coming through as well, even around here. Like the sun's like coming through. It's like a different rays coming through.
Yeah. Did you make it?
Oh no, this is not. Well, actually, it's funny because this is my mother's. This is mine and all.
Okay.
Yeah. So what a coincidence! Like that the mother got that, or she might have painted it.
Wow.
Yeah, she might have painted it.
Wow.
Or else she was gifted it. It's not mine at all. Yeah.
I truly love it.
I know, what a coincidence.
No coincidence.
No. So no walk at that. I just look at the teepee. I'm looking at the teepee, you're like, all right.
I remember that week that we also channel some light languages, and we have a very powerful connection with that painting as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, there was 1 week. What happens that since then many things has happened, and it's difficult to remember everything that we have channeled and say That's why it's recorded, because there is so much going on. So fast.
So much information, even for like for me as a human being to go through it. Like even it's like there's levels ahead.
Yeah. And we are not storing that like in the brain memory.
No,
we are just letting that flow through us.
It's trying to even to. It's funny because synthesizers always come through. No, actually lately, yeah, it's just trying to try to relate, even try to relate to it, share to it, like, yeah.
Michelle, you have a really big aura tonight. I can see that in that little window.
Amazing.
And there is light here on top.
Unreal.
What that doing now?
Lukuwaka.
Do you feel your senses activated, Elga? After the transmissions, like they go more powerful.
It's yeah, well, something shifted today in me.
Something today in general, no? Like you say.
Yeah. There's a strength inside that is new. That kind of a strength that I didn't have before. More confident about something. Actually, myself, I guess. You know? And
straight contact to your true self.
I do. Yeah, I do have that. That is amazing. When I close my eyes, when I'm talking, and I don't know what to say or whatever doesn't come out, I close my eyes, and Celestine Water is continuing my talk. We are like one, you know. And yeah, that's great.
And it feels great.
Yeah, absolutely. Michelle is like that too.
I believe that we are not here by accident, guys.
You're a good crew.
Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah, we can do something.
You're doing great. Like you're doing great. You're doing brilliant. The two of you are amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Good on you. Amazing.
They say we are doing a lot.
Oh yeah, it's like
we don't only meet here, they say. We meet in many layers of reality.
Absolutely, and yeah, I'm not really here on 3D anymore. No, Like,
It's mostly my body, no?
yeah, it's the body that is here, and everything else is somewhere else, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe that, you know, it's you too, no, Michelle?
Oh yeah. Yeah. My ears are just they feel full. Like I yeah, I don't feel here really. I sort of buzzed out of it, you know.
That's our regular stuff, you know. That's how we are regularly. I need somebody beside me, you know, that does the physical work here, so that
Transcending.
Transcending.
it's like you know, there is a I have a challenge coming up. My neighbor, she has a priest coming often to talk and so forth, you know. And I was so fast, I said, I would like to meet him. He said, what the heck am I doing?
Yeah, I stay away from all that.
Well, I have to tell him that he has to bring something else forward, because when the disclosure comes, his sheeps, and we're going to talk like that, your sheeps, they will all be in shock. You have to prepare them, you know, and then why don't you let me go and make all that thing? Oh my God, you know, really.
It's like Wesley said, I mean, you know, if we go too far with them, it's just going to scare them away. You know what I mean? We're going to be so out there that it's, you know, we're going to seem like the crazy ones, but
yeah,
a little drip, 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 drip.
That's why I want to meet him, and I think I'm going to go to church too, to see what they're doing there, you know, because I am ordained. You too, no, Michelle? You're ordained. Yeah, we are ordained, so we can do funerals, which are a lot these days here around also. Funerals and weddings and whatever,
Are you
know.
spiritualists? Are you spiritualists? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a spiritual. I was involved in spiritualism. Amazing.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I'm gonna do some light language.
Yeah. Go into start.
It's gonna come.
Coding the building.
Devil be gone.
They're running the walls. They're running the walls of light.
Oh, no, I'm gonna take you with me.
Running the walls.
Oh my God.
My husband can see into the, like he's got the gift of sight. So we went to that church, Elga, in just in, what's the name of it? Outside of Sussex, you know, what's that next? There's a big green church there anyway. And he said there was gargoyles all perched, like real ones.
What?
That's what he said. He can see into the next dimension. And that's what he said. It was filled with gargoyles.
Wow. I thought that gargoyles actually their protection.
Is that what it is?
That's what
it can depend. You see, actually around Toronto, you will see a lot of the so-called elite, the certain buildings. You see them a lot. If you actually look at some of the banks, some of the banks have gargoyles in them.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think that can look at it also in two ways. When they have gargoyles, they could be good and there can be others they are good and others they are bad, if you will. You know, I don't know, but I'm going to make some research. If anybody else is interested, some research on that, that would be great. Because I had a gargoyle on a fountain in my backyard, and then I changed it after. It was a It was expensive too, for heaven's sake.
And I suppose it's like anything. It's like anything. It depends on what way it's being worked, or if you're, because it can be something like, if as you're saying, of intention. It could be like your dog. Some dogs will be like super protective. Other dogs want to like kill. So it just depends on what maybe it might even be in vocation. So it depends on what they're working with. So if they're working with, right, be here, no, this will be a protective metaphysical thing.
But when we look at the body too, possibly, some gargoyles, they look scary, really scary and dark. And then you have gargoyles, they have a smile on their face, you know, and they look more like a dog's face or something like that. And it's a completely different energy, but I'm not sure. So when I found out about that, I took it away, of course, and I put a pine cone there, you know. I said, okay, here's my fully evolved pineal gland. It was quite big. I put that in the sun. You know, it's my symbol, so maybe that's why.
I actually think Olga, you're a system buster. You're the system buster. You're gonna break up all the understandings. You're gonna break up the whole. You're breaking it up as it is. You're a system buster. You are the system buster. That's what I'm getting. I reckon you're a system buster.
Well,
and bringing in the magic medicine of humor as well. Yeah, blending it, brilliant, amazing, system buster.
Well,
that's what it is. A system
you
buster.
can call me black sheep too. Yeah, that's what I was everywhere. But make it a white one this time. And finish with black.
That's obsolete. Kawamata.
Good.
You're not the black sheep. Kawama.
Yeah.
What?
Right. I was a black sheep at home, yeah. At home,
yeah.
if you want to call it home. But I was
We're
like
all that, though, aren't we?
I think we are the whole black sheep.
Yeah, it's true.
You're the collective of the black sheep.
you know, we don't fit anywhere, you know.
No, can't put it into the boxes.
We escape.
We get over the boxes.
But
Yeah.
they're
beyond the boxes.
They fit nowhere.
Structures, no structure.
There's a name for it, but I forgot it. That's something to do. I think there's even a movie that talks about fit. The unfit? No.
Actually,
I don't.
I find a good description, and I'm not saying it because there's so many dynamics, but actually the sacred clown is a good description of. So sometimes it's a person. Society would see a certain type of script. This is my understanding. I don't know. I'm just saying it. They'd see reality in a certain way. Sacred clown could go do stuff totally reverse, or they do it in certain ways. And what it is teaching them to see beyond the boxes. And it's this set of boxes. So then they say, "Oh, this is like, whoa, what's this?" And this is teaching to see beyond the boxes, because the whole boxes is like going, "This is the way it's supposed to be done," and it'll do it totally different. So what actually happens is the perception, consciousness can expand, and they might think, "Oh, that can't be done, that can be done," and it can be done, but the sacred clown would do it in a totally different dynamic, and doesn't follow standard protocol, because it's following its own way, own flow, own divine flow. Yeah, that's what I reckon the sacred clown is.
Something came to my mind when we're talking about priest and church and all that stuff. It actually, what we are experiencing is biblical, no? And that's what they always say. What we're going through right now is biblical. So that's a very good way to use, when you talk to a priest that wants to devilish you. It's all written in the Bible. And then I will tell him, well, man wrote the Bible, and the last Bible is being made for you to your own satisfaction. It's not even how many Bibles that are omitted over hundreds of stuff, hundreds of Bibles, or hundreds of
Books.
yeah, like kind of books, and that it's all extensions of this, that, and the other.
Versions.
The real thing from the Bible was omitted. That what you're reading is not the Bible anymore.
Yeah.
And when you say the prophecy as well, when you say the prophecy as well, it's like the prophecies and it's biblical. And the thing is, when you do meet someone who's studying that, and when you do share something similar to what they're studying, they get it, even though sometimes they don't want to get it, but they'll get what you're talking about. So then you might come at it at an angle and say, right, this person would think I'm totally, they won't get me, but you're meeting them at a place because you're letting them know what they're studying and what their whole book is about. So you're sharing that prophecy or
when you go to the Revelation, but it's in the Revelation is happening. Wow, Michelle.
What you're sharing then is revelation.
You have light.
You're sharing you're sharing the book. You're sharing the book into existence.
Yeah.
You're speaking the book into existence.
That's it.
Yeah.
We talk about more.
Yeah.
And really it would be interesting to find those books or whatever it is.
So one's coming from the mind, and one is one's transmitting it, and one's then coming from sometimes a man-made, or it could be a transcription, the same thing again, because one's coming back, dialing it in, and then the other one is speaking of it into existence within that current period of moment.
I tell you what happened. We had a prayer circle, and for years actually. What we did was intention. We put out intentions, sometimes the words, the way we spoke the words and used the words came back to us exactly as we put it out.
Amazing.
That's truly amazing, yes. So if that is so, then we can do other things in conversation and because that is what creates the new paradigm. That is what creates the new matrix, because the matrix is a thought form. Where did I get that from? Doesn't matter. It's a thought form, and it as we're using that and we're thinking about that and bringing that forward more and more, it stabilizes itself. And then it goes out. So if we do that, and I'm sure that there are others that do the same thing, it's not only us, but that's how we create a new earth, within what we want in the new earth, and bringing those scriptures, the original scriptures, I would say, because that are the teachings of Jesus. And he went to school, he went to study for over 30 years, to become that what he was. And he said, whatever I do, you can do as well, and even more. you know. So that would be, I mean, I'm just talking right now, but that would be a curriculum to create something that is new, because we don't need to use the same words and the same perspective. We use it in a more expanded or let's call it modern way. You know, we can because all the old teachings, all the old things that were, you know, it's like, because I remember my one of my lives definitely from the Judean time, you know, and the more I look into it, and I get all the impression from the how they were living, etc., etc. You know, it comes back to me, and so I can see the difference from then to here. You know, and before, when we're going back to the teachings of Christ, what he did wasn't Christ that came after, it's Jesus or Joshua, really, you know. What he was bringing at that time was the same thing, more or less, as we're talking now.
Yeah, and actually, and it's funny because as Ishmael was speaking, and what you were describing, what I could sense what Ishmael was working with, or was coming through with Ishmael, was actually Christ, or you could say Jesus, or whatever word you could say. So it's funny you were saying because that's what I was getting. I was going to say it there earlier on. Ishmael, I didn't have to say it, I know, but that's the way it would work. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that too with Ismail sometimes as well. Definitely.
Yeah, Jesus was here to teach about the ascension. Jesus was here mainly all the things that we are learning, or whatever you want to call this, but we have been going through and learning and so forth. That is exactly the same thing when you listen to Dolores Cannon. I sometimes listen to her stuff. And again, you know, it's in principle all the same. But the church brings, it's, you cannot, only through us. You know, so that is a suppression, and that is, I call it slavery.
Not just that, but they don't teach that.
Yeah, it's not inside.
About
yeah,
love.
well, so, yeah,
No.
and yeah, internal.
That's right. They don't teach about any of those things, about love and being sovereign. You cannot be sovereign. The church teaches you are dependent on the what you call it, the priesthood, but that's what they call it. It's Judean time. The church of today, I stopped listening because I was listening for a while, you know, and some of the things that he was talking about, he wasn't talking about Jesus or what, he was talking about life. But when I heard, you know, we are sinners.
Yeah, I know.
That was a little bit much for me, you know. That is something that needs to go from the church, you know. And it is
on yourself. That's it's bringing in resentment, rejection, judgment, everything on yourself when you are called a sinner.
Yeah, exactly. That was. I don't know that every priest is like that today, but you know, but there are definitely, when you look at the Vatican and so, what was the Vatican? What is the Vatican? Well, it's not, that's crumbling too, of course, but it was child trafficking, blood sacrifice underneath the church, and we, with the communion, this is Jesus' flesh and blood. It's his flesh and his blood. drink it, eat it. You know, look at the symbolism. It's not that they have to eat meat and drink the wine.
No.
You know, it's the symbolism that they use. And that is exactly still happening. And people go to communion.
It's all backdated. It's just it's outdated stuff that's
it's not only outdated, it's not only outdated, it's satanic.
Yeah.
Cannibalism.
No, big time.
Cannibalism is satanic.
Mad.
Sacrifice and all that, it's happening underneath the church.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that and they make the people, they put the people in that spell. You see, the thing is today, I never believed that, but now I do. The thing is, there is a fight between God and the devil. Let's, you know, and each one wants the souls. It is a fight over the souls of the beings, the people, us, because the devil knows who we are. And it really is, God is fighting with the devil, let's say, for the souls, for us. He wants his sheep back. He wants his people back, you know. And so the devil, he wants to take them all. So that's what the vaccine is all about, because it cuts you off from spirit.
It's all just control. Like even religions is some form of control. Like you've got to follow these sets of rules to be with God. You can be with God anywhere.
Well,
God,
yeah, but
all the time.
The jabs, the injections, they cut the soul off from the body, you know, and the only way to come back again would be through a rebirth. That means coming back, you know, as a baby. And then your soul is intact and it's with your body, because your soul is not going anywhere, but it's around you.
There's lots of things that disconnects us though, like alcohol, drugs, anything, any kind of like numbing agent. Like people go through traumas and they use alcohol and drugs as a numbing agent, but that is an opening for demons to come in and to disconnect you from source.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. And so, you see, it is biblical, because we are in the last fight, if you will. We are in the last throes of the death of the loved ones. We'll see. They did what they did with the jobs, and there were millions of people that have died.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there are all the others. There are here and there some people. They, even though they have a job, but at the sea line, we're talking here science really. There is not. It is not something that has to do with consciousness and so. I see people have changed and disconnected from themselves as to the way they were before and the way they are now. But you see, the thing is, they have God does not use the time the way we use. For him, that's only about moments, you know. But for us, it's different. So they're going through a new what you want to say, walk, you know. They're doing their incarnation and they're evolving, and if everything is good, they will remember what was before, what happened to them, and if not, then a pure soul. But I think the soul keeps the memories. It's a collection. So that's actually for many, when we don't know that, what is their sole purpose, that they take the job. Maybe they took them for us, so it is like, and I'm not talking about everyone, but it's the sacrifice that they are doing as a soul in order to learn, or also in order to give us a challenge and open our consciousness and our wisdom, not wisdom, that is knowledge, let's say, open up more, accelerating our ascension, because we're learning from that, because we see it, what happens.
I think it's the comparison of between light and dark and fear and love. Like, I think a lot of people took the vaccination out of fear, because that's what they were like, that's what the consciousness was trying to create. They were trying to create fear. A lot of people went along with that fear.
Well, yeah, of course.
Other people that choose love, but like I think there is, they've targeted people out of fear, and
yeah, but not everyone.
Yeah,
not everyone. I mean, some are completely oblivious to anything around them. They go not only because of fear, but they go whatever, know. But then there are some, they're doing that not consciously. It's not that they're doing that consciously. They have, let's call it an excuse. It's not a proper word for it, but that's all I have here right now. They're having an excuse to go and take the job, or also, as you said, out of fear. Remember, the devil is the master of deception. So
coordination, and it's to do with like separation.
Yeah.
And the plan was integrated, and it's to do with like, if you don't take this, your either grandmother or your parents, you could kill them, and this and that. So the coordination was like,
they were actually blackmailing us at one point, weren't they? They were blackmailing us that we couldn't travel, and like, it was pure blackmail.
You couldn't travel unless you took it.
No.
You couldn't travel.
Making you like second-class citizens. You couldn't go into a restaurant in some countries. You could only get takeaways, and it's just pure.
The rules, like in Ireland, you could, if you went into a pub, you had to bar. You might call it bar. Pub, you would you had to have a meal. You had to have a meal, and you had to, like, if there was a gang of you sitting at the table, you had to sit at the table. You couldn't get up, and then if you get up, you had to put on your mask. It was like, the rules are just bonkers.
Yeah.
It's like, why? What's the difference of me? Like, why? I don't know. I'm sitting down with 10 people here. You weren't allowed, at one stage you weren't allowed 10 people. So now 8 people here, we can talk. So we took our masks off. So if I get up, I put my mask on. So the person's coming out next to me, and I was like, it's like, there's no sense in it at all. And I couldn't get over how people couldn't see that. Like, the rules were ridiculous. Ridiculous.
That was they shut you up
altogether.
They shut you up. That's
show. You go to a shop, you have to put on a mask.
Fear and separation. That's
the funniest thing I've ever seen, and I couldn't believe it was. I still remember these people. They're about, I think it was 8 years old, and I remember I was coming along the road by Tower near Blarney, and I was just walking by a supermarket shop. It's called Super Value, and on my left there was this red transporter. If you know a Volkswagen transporter, it's like a red van. So it's a red van, like a Volkswagen van. and there's these older couple inside it, and the two of them had their masks on, and I'm like, oh my God, this is unreal. I was like, I couldn't believe that.
That's nothing. A friend of mine came to my
I was like, wow.
house.
I was like, I think I've seen everything now. I was like, whoa, this is unreal.
A friend of
And they're
mine.
driving away, like, and they're like, you know, I better put it on in case it'll be safe here next to me, just in case you give it to me. And oh yeah, just in case you give it to me, right? All right. So we safe now. We got the mask on. Just make sure now you drive safe. Like we got the most important thing to mind about your glasses. Don't mind about anything that's safe, or don't even check the indicators. Make sure you got your mask on. You don't imagine you do your driver's license, or you do a driver's license, right? We're gonna have to add this into this needs to come into the contract. You have to wear your mask.
Yeah, my friend came to my house. My friend came to my house, and I gave him a bite to eat, you know, something that he liked, and a cup of coffee, you know. No.
Mask on.
Just to be safe.
I swear, he put the mask down, chewed it, took another spoonful, lifted his mask, put it in.
Unreal.
I looked at him, my eyes, I think they must have been falling out, you know. I could see that.
I have to say, I've highest respect for the people that have really stood up, and like there's so many women I've seen, especially in Australia. I think it was like wow, like people have gone through some serious battles just for fighting their own, like as you're saying, sovereign being.
Here in UK, many nurses lost their jobs and doctors, and in US as well. Those who were feeling that was nonsense, and they didn't want to collaborate with that campaign, and many of them they lost their jobs.
Dentists too, no? Dentists, you're
dentist.
I would lose my job too. I would lose my job too. I would not.
100%.
No, you know how much sickness that creates. Children have that. You know, they're running around with them. First of all, what I saw personally was that the children, and the smaller they were, the greater was the terror that they had in their eyes.
Unreal. I seen it as a collective. I could see it. I know it's no at the start. Like I would see, even if I said I wouldn't, no way. And it's like they're like, what? They're like, what? I was like, no, I definitely wouldn't take it. And they're like, huh? You won't take it? It's like it was nearly like there was like something taken over them. I actually thought it was nearly like a collective. Like there was something. It was nearly like a possession.
Yes.
I felt it was a collective possession taken over, because I felt it was like not one. It did all like work together. I'm like going, this is like a possession.
That's exactly it. That was
possession.
It's the soul goes out.
They say now it's angels and devils. You know, angels and demons. It's a fight between angels and demons.
Right now.
Yeah.
Well, it is like a part of my job is that's what I do. I get rid of stuff like, I just bring it back to the light. That's my job. That's my main job. Yeah. So that's why that's my main job. That's what I do. That's why I'm here. That's my job. Can't say it's not, but that's what I do. That's my job. That's why some say I'm good at my job. I do certain things that have to be done. It's out of my hands. Some things has to go. Like some things have to go. They have to go. They have to go.
Yeah, but they have to go for us. That it has to be clean. It has to be clean.
I know, and then what you're working with is what we're working with, and it's in the language. I think we all got a package. The information is in the language. We trust what you're working with. That's what I get. Trust what you're working with, because the information is in the language. The ancient languages had the information, the encoded information, transcription of light. That's what they say. That's what they say. I don't know. I might be totally wrong, but that's what they say. The information is in the language. It's the energetic, divine intelligence, divine.
Yeah, exactly. That's light language is exactly that, and there are codes in there, you know, in the language, and those codes are being distributed all over the planet.
Exactly.
You know, and you don't have to have 100 people and do that kind of thing all together. No, we are powerful enough, you know.
Planting it, and actually rebooting certain systems that are already down. So it's re-energizing what's already down, rebooting the activation points that's already there. The overlayers is cross-weaving and cross-filtration of the information to transfer to rebalance, reboot, and rejig the system. And we're doing it. You feel it? You feel it? Do you feel it flipping? Yeah, we're doing it. The field is definitely. I don't know, is it me? But do you notice that things are starting? The field is starting to get more tangible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, the field. We're working the field big time.
I see things running around here too, where I live. You know, I see them running around, and then they're around me, and when I look at them, they disappear behind me. You know. But it's not that, it's not nefarious. It's mostly like well, how would you call that? People that look in and see how I'm doing. You know, I call them people. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know, and I see animals, or small animals. I see them walking through here.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that they're walking through here. It's that I'm looking into a different dimension or reality.
Different reality
Parallel reality right beside me. You know, it's who knows? I mean, do I make? I don't think too much about. But I know that I have fairies around here, and that's a good thing. They're very powerful, by the way, now.
Yeah. The fairies have been around for a while. Well, they've always been around, but they have been very strong recently. Very, very strong.
It's the same thing again. Like there's been a lot of history. Like even here, with Ireland's huge, the old folklore, talked about them, respected it, worked with them, worked with them, was a part of them. But the whole thing then was kind of changed in a way. I don't believe any of this. This is fairy tales. But the more see what happens, the more acknowledgement, and the more understanding comes through. They'll help in the field because they're a part of the team. I see it through people. I see it through people. I'll be working with someone, or I could be connect with someone, and I can see the fairy in them.
They're powerful.
The brain structure, or their whole structure, the geometrics of them, even their whole way, even the way they will work. You see the fairy. They're like you see them come through the human incarnation.
They're really, really powerful, I mean, and when they trust you, then they show themselves. They actually show themselves, you know, and
respect.
Yeah.
We respect them. Like here, there's tales that people would never believe, and the sacred areas. It's a certain areas that groves, and there's certain fairy forts, and there's like we grew up with it, like because even areas that we would be part of, then these farmers and stuff wouldn't listen to the tale. Like basically, they'd say if you go onto the land, if you start digging here or whatever, people would say, there'll be something put upon you. The fairies will put something upon you, and they'd say the old stories were basically some of them would turn over in their JCBs, some of them when something not good would happen, like so.
Yeah, we have that stories up here in like Shetland. We've got fairy stories, and then we've got the pixies. Like I don't like we've got like a castle is actually across the road from where I stay. But we call it in Shetland, like it's called the Clickman Brock, but we all call it the Pixies Castle because you have to be so smart, like you have to crunch down to get into this castle. And apparently they were like little people, but then there was also like on one of the islands I used to visit when I was a teenager, there was this circle of stones. It was called the Troll Stones. And apparently if you stood in the middle of the troll stones, then they would haunt you. So like that was like one of the stories, like, oh, you can't stand in the middle of that circle or they'll come and get you, and things like that you like get grown up with, like all this like stupid tales.
Basically what I'm getting is they are teaching also how to behave. They're teaching you how would you say that in English? Respect for others and so forth, and if you don't, you're gonna have your respect right back in your face, you know.
Yeah.
So and that's what they do, and they have no problem with that because
laws of nature law, not like nature laws of nature.
Completely innocent, you know. And yeah, they're not doing anything.
And watch out for the foxes, because they say, and I've experienced it. They say the fox is the shapeshifter. Some not, you know, it's like some say that the fox is the. I witnessed it, shapeshifter of the fairies.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, and actually it's funny because when I was at a ferry fort back in 2015, 16, I was asked to do some work, and I was hit by a shapeshifter actually, but it was only checking me out, just kind of that, make sure I was safe, and then I got an acknowledgement from the fox. So remember, I got into the car, started the car, I remember everything in the car now, and the fox went across, and I got the kind of nod, like it's like, you're okay, you're more or less like, you're okay, respect. And when I landed in Toronto, I had this conversation with this guy, because I came back from Shasta 2017, and the guy goes, he just came back from Shasta, and then these other guys, they're these sacred geometry guys who do a lot of art and stuff in the centre. There's lovely dudes, and he's like, the other guy goes, where's this guy from? This is from where? And he says, wow. And then the other guy is like, I'm just out of Shasta. I was like, yeah, I was up there recently. And then he said, Ireland. He said, that's the land of the fairies. And then I was like, oh yeah. Then he was like, the fox. And then it's funny because I was just after that connection through it. He said the fox is the shapeshifter of the fairies. And actually it's funny because when I went back to Ireland in 2019, I told my friends the story. We went out to Stone Circle. And he was like, oh yeah, yeah, grand. I'm not joking. When I was talking about the fox, we were in the Stone Circle, and a fox put his head in and looked over it, and he was like, my buddy was like, he's not really into spirituality. He's not at all, and he couldn't believe it. And when I actually got into the car, we stopped for chips, West Cork, and we stopped for chips. I'm not joking. A fox came up to the window looking, different area. Well, it's the same area, but just side town. And the fox followed me the whole way through the village, and then sent me off. Yeah. And then on the way back, got stopped by the cops. And it's funny because I was basically totally dialed in, and he was like, you kind of said, have a good night or whatever, grand. And just before I was leaving, the fox kind of put the head out again, different fox again. But it was just, it's all acknowledgement. Like, but my friend couldn't believe it, because I basically started sharing about the fox, and then it happened from one sequence.
Interlinked.
Just the connection. Know how it's stream through it, like. And
Mhm.
yeah, Fox
Yeah.
to say. That was my experience of shapeshifter coming in, exploring me. Like, what's this? And do you know, it's just basically checking out. Are you going to be doing harm? Are you here for thing? Once they could check then what I was, because I was being examined. Like, I was being cross-examined, and then there was the respect. I got the acknowledgement. There was like more or less a
Yeah.
thanks very much, and I went on my way.
Michelle too. She has two nice experiences. One was with the bird.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah, I
know,
think I told them that.
Yeah.
and the other one
Yeah.
with the spider.
Yeah. Did I tell you guys about the
Spider.
spider?
Divine Weaver.
Yeah.
Dreamweaver, yeah, it's Pathweaver. The spider came. Did you tell him that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you did spider light languages last week, I think you did.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
So funny.
Yeah.
So
much.
weird. You know.
You know, I think that as we're moving forward, we have something in us because we are part of everything, you know. And
Yeah.
when we recognize that or realize that, then we also have a close connection with nature. You know, instead of taking and taking and taking from nature, why not being in harmony with nature? You know,
Mhm.
I don't believe really to have birds in a cage. I have birds in the cage, yes. That's because one bird, it was a white canary, flew into my house. And I had two cats. And the cats didn't even look really at it. And what did I do? I had to take a cage, the old cages. They were like metal cages with a metal top. There's like big what you call it, grits. So I took a chicken wire from the balcony and wrapped that around the cage, and then the bird let me take him and put him in the cage. I had 3 sticks in there, you know, I went up, 2 down, or whatever. And then I took him from the lampshade where he was sitting on, and he was completely, he didn't move. And then I put him in the cage. And then I went out shopping, got some seeds, had no idea what that thing was. But anyway, that it needed seeds, you know. So I bought some seeds from the store,
Lovely.
some water, you know, and he had a home.
That's
Next
lovely.
morning, I woke up. I was really shocked. I said, what the heck is that? I mean, what is that? That noise, I never heard that noise before. He was on the top perch and was singing.
Oh.
Amazing.
I mean, usually they don't do that, but he was singing. I never heard a song like that, you know, was a
Whoa.
canary.
That's amazing.
Snow White.
Wow.
And then I put notes up on the all over the street, all over where I was around, you know. Yeah, they all lost birds, but not white. They were all in all kind of colors, and they're all kind of, you know. I said, wow, don't they watch out for that? So then finally, after 4 weeks, I decided, well, I keep him, you know. So I got a cage. And there was a golden cage. Oh, shucks. And I fixed it up, made it really nice. And then I put the bird in there. He looked left and right. That's how he sat there. He didn't move. He didn't sing, nothing. And I said that that's not the cage. He doesn't like the cage. He needs a white cage. So I put him back in that thing, the cat carrier, you know. We were singing like crazy.
Oh.
I said, see. Then I went back to the pet shop and said, I told you he doesn't like the cage. So I got a one in white.
Wow.
And it was just a little bit bigger, but it was white. I fixed it up really nice, beautiful and all that. I put him in there.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's amazing.
And right, he looked, and then he was sitting on the top perch, and he was singing like hell. You see, it's they know.
You're meant to be with that bird. Well, that bird sounds like it's kind of you, no?
Yeah.
You connected to the bird. The bird likes, you connected to the bird. That's what it seems like.
He didn't want it being sitting in the dark. Actually, he wanted to be free, but I couldn't do that. These are not birds that you can put outside. That's how I started with birds, and then when it was time for him, he got fat because he was always only eating. So I said he needs somebody that gives him company. So I got a finch. I think it was a finch. I was asking the vet what is the best to do. And then I put the 2 cages side by side, as I like here. And they had a good relationship, really good. I opened the door on the side, and I put something in plastic around like a tube, and then they could visit each other.
Oh.
That was really cool. That was really cool. They had their own territory, and then they were visiting each other.
It's like 2 galactic ships. Yeah. Crossing over, coming through a different dimension.
Yeah. And you see, that was about 40 years ago. And look at that. I still have 2 birds. God. They are the ones that wake me up in the morning. They're the ones that tell me it's time to sleep. These kind of things. They're the ones that, they're really, I have one you have to see twice, a really tiny little one, and he is the boss in the house. He's the one that tells me when to get up. And Shanti is still sleeping, and Zoe is already, as soon as he feels the sun coming up, it's an energy that comes when the sun comes up. So he feels that. I have the feeling that this one was kidnapped from nature. It is a green singer, they call that, and it's a very rare now. It's like, I would not, I prefer that I have birds outside and they come to me, That's, I have again, what you call it, blue jays I have doves around here, I have finches around, they look like Zoe in the summer, they're brown in the winter, and there is one, just one, from all blue jays, just one. He has a certain cry and a certain behavior. And no matter where I go, that bird is always there. How in God's name can that be?
Not a coincidence.
There is no such a thing as coincidence. No, I really ask myself, how is that possible? I mean, only one from all the others here or in the apartment where I was or in the house where I used to be. At the third place now, and I heard that same bird again, the same behavior too. I was watching. Is that strange or what?
And like your energy, you've got a huge energy, and so it's no surprise. I mean, your light codes go everywhere, and they see that.
I mean, that's the same bird that came here, you know.
Yeah, well, that's what I think.
That's what I feel, yeah, but it's, you know, wow.
You know, it's totally, you have to open your mind to comprehend something like that. But
Yeah.
see, I can see your light codes all around you right now, and it's absolutely beautiful. And it's pure love. You know, they can pick up on that. It's pure love.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, but you see what happened with your bird, no? Come back to you, sat on you, and just say thank you.
I know, that was just amazing for me.
Yeah, like, and even that spider, you know, come on now. I mean, just because it's so small, you know, you blow on it and
Well, I have to respect it. I mean, it's got consciousness. It's consciousness.
That's
so
right.
We're consciousness. You know, I have to respect it for what it is, even though it scares the crap out of me. It's just
yeah, I know.
You know, it's what it is.
You know, yeah, it's like the way I see animals now, more and more. It doesn't matter what the animal looks like; they're all people for me.
Yeah,
spirit. You know, we all have a form around us, our spirit. You know, we all have a form. Everything has a form. So why? Because they have 2 ears that stand up or they hang down. They have a tail. We used to have a tail too. But it's over the time that tail is gone. And there are people born, babies born, they really have some extra tails and their spine. You know, so it's I don't see that. I see the eyes, and when I look into the eyes, I see something like humans.
I'm the same way.
I feel like humans are the only species that seem to hold on to things, like, because if you think about the animal collective, they are helping us. Like, I've seen, it's no coincidence that we're speaking about birds, because I feel like the birds are helping us so much right now. Like, I've just been getting so many signs through birds recently, and the animal collective and the fairy collective and the galactic beings, and they're all helping us. But we're the only species that hold on to all this, like, past traumas and resentments and stuff like that. If the animal kingdom held on to everything that humans had done to them, do you think they would be helping us? I don't think they would be helping us at all.
Yeah.
They're totally of service, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the guardians, they're actually guardians. Some of them are actually guardians. So actually, some of them
messengers.
Guardians and protectors actually. For some of them are actually working, actually coming from different galaxies and different systems, and they could be like, some of them are like so super. Yeah, they're very advanced.
You know what? Wesley, you saying that? I channeled my cat once. My cat is a being that works on Gertviknir, the one of the galactic ships that goes around the around the Earth. My cat.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Oh yeah, big time. dogs as well. Some dogs are actually the whole grand scale of what you're talking about, what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The dogs are totally in tune with what's with the grand plan, like super
Yeah.
in tune, like
Yeah.
really in tune. But their whole how would you say it? The architecture of their this is what I connected with anyway, is their whole architecture of actually they're like guardians. They're actually guardians. Like they're some of them, whether it's right knows like what they would be.
Cats especially, I feel like they're protectors. Like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
mhm.
I used to have cats before I had birds, you know, and I just couldn't, you know, whatever, and it was so hard to let go, you know, and yeah, I'm a bit better now with letting go of those little lives. They are big spirits of them, all of them.
And you talk about the Matrix as well. Cats are totally beyond. They're in the Matrix, but they're beyond the Matrix at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they can
are.
see.
Yeah,
They can see, and
Yeah.
so can dogs. Like the cats and dogs can see things that we can't consciously see.
Of course. I saw yesterday a movie, I could not stop it, and that was with dogs. Dogs there's this guy that goes to the shelters, and then they brings, especially when they're shut down, the animal, you know, when the animal is shut down, he brings them back up again, you know, and he's showing that. But yesterday I saw especially those what you call those dogs now, huskies, I think. They are so expressive when they talk. They literally talk, and it's something that you have to listen to. I cannot describe it. They are so expressive. They are so human. Animals are so human.
Yeah.
No, there's no difference in their behavior, in everything. It's no different than from us. I think they are more, what would you call that? Almost more evolved than humans.
Yeah, they are pure unconditional love. Like they know that they're pure unconditional love.
Yeah.
We have to remember that we're pure unconditional love.
Yeah.
They are
Super loyal.
reminding us that. As well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super loyal.
True.
Super loyal.
You
Dogs
see,
are
the wolf,
super loyal.
yeah, the wolf is actually, it's actually being brought here, not only here, but in other places as well. But the wolf is our teacher, literally our teacher, how to be in family and whatever is around relationship. The wolf is the representation of relationship. The dark ones know that. That's why they are running after them and killing them like crazy. The bear is a representation of strength, you know, and you learn from nature, not today anymore, not in the same way as it used to be. We used to be, when our children, especially when we are mothers, our children, we didn't go bring them outside. We didn't go and watch over them. They were playing by themselves as soon as they can crawl, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, they had the animals around they were taken care of. And if they wanted to, if the mother wanted to see what the child or the children are doing, they just went and projected themselves into a tree that was around and observing the children. And when everything was fine, they came back and did their work, whatever they needed to do. You know, We have all those abilities. It's all us. It's all in us. And that is we are getting back. When we are moving up and we will see 2 suns, then you know that you have moved into at least 4D. Because you cannot see it in 3D, but you can see it in 4D.
That's so interesting that you said that, because this week I've been having dreams of trees with faces on them.
Yeah.
Like actually faces merging from the trees, like Pocahontas. Like that's the only way that I can describe it. Like the grandmother coming through the tree. But I've been having like dreams with that, like all different faces coming from the trees.
Yes, but they do have faces. They really do have faces. It's you know, it's we are so limited, unfortunately, that we can only see something that is totally 3D. You see, when you look at faces in the trees, then you're not looking 3D anymore. You open yourself up to see different forms as a face.
I think that's what's changing in me. Like over this year, I have been like, just when I've been so in the zone and I've just been like surrendering and staring at something, I can see faces in everything. I look at my curtains and I see faces. I see like my carpet and I'm seeing faces, and I look outside and onto a piece of wood in my shed and I'm seeing faces. It's like it's all like
transcription. Transcription is coming. So the more, so it become. I used to have it as Christ, and I used to have it in as thing, and I wasn't even giving it. I used to give it attention, and the more I didn't give it attention, I knew it that I wanted to show more, so it present itself more, so I give it less attention again. So it's the transcription of information being transferred through different octaves. That's the way I'm gonna get it. And it's all geometry. So like what you're working with, what you're speaking with, is geometry. The mathematical configuration of information is geometry. So it's all basic mathematics coming back to itself, like. So you're looking at that aspect of this or that aspect of that, and it's all reflections of that and this and that, and so you're seeing things more apparent because you're dialing off that frequency, and you're transpanding beyond it in different ways, different dynamics. So but that's what happened to me. It's like I was just seeing everything was like geometry. I was seeing everything from the Star of David was like everything, to this, to that, looking at the floors, like just coming up, unfolding. It was everything's connected, and I still get it. I do still get it. Like if someone could be speaking to me, or I might be doing some work on healing or whatever. I could have some ancient Irish god come up through the floorboards or whatever. I might have a goddess, or I might have something or whatever. It'll just come up through the, and won't even, it'll just be there. Like it'll just basically present itself through the etched out through our so-called reality. Because all is dancing particles anyway.
Yeah.
We're on a whole electromagnetic system of dancing particles, so that's recognizing particles, recognizing particles.
Exactly.
So source, recognizing source, recognizing source, self beyond self, beyond self, beyond self, beyond. And you're back to the same place you already started.
I have seen myself as that. I was sitting and I was how do you call it, meditating with a candle. All of that, so I felt myself expanding, and that started to get really painful. I didn't know what to do, and then I imagined myself having a zipper in front here of my body, and I opened the zipper to get out because that was terrible in there, in that body. What did I see? It was all particles. I didn't see arms. I saw arms only as particles. And then I moved my arm, and all the particles they came after, they were trailing behind, And literally, how do you say? I spilled out of my body. You know, I spilled out of it, and I wanted to get out, and I was out. I looked at it. I didn't see my physical body. I saw only particles, and that was
Do
the
they
whole.
have color? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, like violet?
No, they were sort of silver.
Okay.
Silver, and that's a few years ago, but it was silver, and there were different sizes, but it was amazing to see that, you know. And the only thing was, I couldn't get out of my boots. That I was stuck on my on the feet, you know. Otherwise, I would have gone out. But maybe that was not something I was supposed to be doing. You know,
Grounded. You're
I,
probably grounding into the
I
golf
was
course.
grounded, all right.
Grounded in. They
I
didn't
didn't.
want you to go.
I didn't know. Then I just let go, and
You can't leave this one go yet.
I had no
No,
choice.
it can't go.
Oh, it was not very pleasant because it was painful. You know, having all those particles that were moving was beautiful, mind you.
Yeah, but if you look you could if you look at certain stuff like that's what happened to me. I was just looking. I started seeing fridges were dancing and
Yeah,
tables were dancing, chairs
yeah,
were dancing, and I'm like going,
yeah,
everything is dancing. So
yeah.
it's starting to like the whole thing
Mm.
was so if you look at it, if you do look at stuff, they'll like it's not as even for me, no, not as a parent unless you look at it, but it was like super like everything was like
Yeah, yeah.
dancing.
You
Yeah,
see the
that's
frequency of that fridge or this chair,
yeah,
and
everything's dancing different decimals.
what happened to me is I see everything like it is under the water, like fluid. You
Uh-huh.
know, the floor is moving like,
Right.
and then maybe the drapes or whatever, it's moving as I look at it, you know, and uh, it's
Amazing,
really strange, and I don't have to do anything. It's just there when I look, you know.
amazing. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it is. We all going to be that way, you know. It's like everything is fluid. It is fluid. Nothing is solid and
Everything's
standing
dancing.
there. That's our imagination.
Mm.
In
Or music.
reality, it's all energy. That's it.
It's all energy.
That's why
Condensed.
after we have the light languages, sometimes like I go for a walk outside and you can just see all the dancing particles. You can see the vibration in the stones. You can see the vibration in the sea. You can see the vibration in the grass, in the trees, and
Yeah,
like just everything. It's just all like little
yeah,
dancing particles.
yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah. Start to look at you go in the afternoon. Yeah, in the afternoon, then you start doing some sun gazing.
Yeah.
And what happened to you? I activated my DNA like crazy.
Yeah, I get light codes from the sun a lot. Like I just stare at the sun and then I shut my eyes and I can see like light codes coming through. Like,
Yeah. No, you look into the sun changes, and you connect with the sun, and then what happens is sometimes when you feel like from head to toe that you have only needles in your body, inside and out, that's when you activate your DNA.
wow.
That is you yourself only can activate your DNA. There is nobody on the outside that can activate your DNA. I heard that from the higher source. I asked those questions. And that I always had that feeling. We cannot activate somebody else's DNA. You feel it when you activate. You really feel it. You know, I've done sun gazing for how many, 3-4 years straight. You know, I've seen things in nature in the winter time with all the trees, and I say, my God, that looks like a brain. You know, and then you can actually, if you're looking long enough, you can actually see the thought forms as sparks coming from the earth, you know, and the Mother Earth is thinking, you know, all those kind of things that there's a lot that we can do and we will do, you know. It's like we don't need we don't need all those big teachings and so forth. We just they're so simple all around us when we're open to it. Mother Nature is the best teacher. You know, she shows everything. She shows life. She shows love, and she shows how to it just she shows love. I don't know what to say. I have done all that.
She's just pure wisdom and magic, isn't she?
Well, it becomes wisdom when you have the knowledge, and then the knowledge actually can come to you because you already have.
Symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Sunu akatakini akatakumboa shinia masuno ata iaka kuaka shuni mamu akanakini wa ota yea wa ota yewa makuno waka speak sukunuka kuniki akaka keniki wakata kunuka shinike akutata utata sania wa uya.
Yeah.
I just get which speaks.
Yeah, it's like it's just amazing, you know. I often was lying in the grass, and then I started off pretending to be a blade of grass, and I did that so long until I became the blade of grass. You know, that when you look into a tree and you want to see the other side of the reality, and maybe the parallel reality or whatever, you look at a tree, you lay down and you meditate on the tree, and what you do is you take the opposite. Instead of looking at the leaves, you look at all the shadows. And you look and look and look and look and look. And you do that for a good month or so, and you keep on looking and looking to the point that you cannot look anymore in the way. That's what I'm doing. I don't look the way I used to look. I look differently. I look the opposite way now. And that's when you start seeing things that, well, I wanted to say aren't there, but they're there.
Great awareness. That's great awareness.
Yeah, well,
that's what supposedly that's what the Druids. There's a little thing, you know, this isn't probably thing. They say that actually the Druids used to actually work in the so they'd go into the darkness. They'd work in the darkness. The information was going through the dark. They were going in through the dark. So yeah. So actually, what I picked up, what you're sharing there was similar to what the Druids at that advancement really, which is very cool.
When I go through a dark place, I have to take my glasses off to see better.
Oh yeah. Amazing.
really strange. I have to take my glasses off so that I see better.
Mm.
You know, it's like then my eyes change. They become like I can. It's amazing. I can see in the dark. You know.
There's a
I'm
shaman
gonna
here in
go, you
Ireland.
guys. Sorry.
Hey,
Sorry,
take it
Wesley.
easy. Take it easy. Bye bye.
You too. Nice seeing you
Bye
guys.
bye.
Tushana.
I'm going
Thank
to go
you.
to you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Michelle.
love.
I'm going to go to you. I'll need to go.
Bye, lovely.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye
lovely.
bye bye bye. I'll rock and roll shortly, but I'm going to say this: there's a shaman here in Ireland, and that's what he does. Well, he does. He's on about the relearning, seeing in the dark. So
Yeah.
he
Are you
talks about.
you're
Yeah.
Irish?
I'm
Are you,
Irish.
you're Irish.
You think it was Japanese? Sydney, what the?
Sayonara.
Or do you think it was a fully gone? Good way you got to waka. Where do you think it was from?
Are you are you
A Martian.
yeah,
Kunuwata. I'm Irish, yeah. I'm Irish.
yeah.
100%.
I did. I have to ask your mother.
100%. Well, that's just discarnation. Well, many more as well, but it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah. But were they Druids in Ireland? What is in Ireland out of the fairies?
The Druids, the fairies, there would be high kings, there'd be the gods, the goddesses, the queens, yeah.
Yeah. I have to go there. I like those kind of places.
They say actually there's a lot of they say that the Egyptians back in the day worked with some say that some of the Irish were actually the Egyptians, some of the old things. So there's been some say there was a bit of a crossover supposedly, and actually there's some of the sacred places here was supposed to be connected to like the dynamic understandings that they had here back in the day were more or less connected to the Egyptians. There's been a couple of burials as well. Actually, some say that I don't know there's some high Egyptian deity that he was buried here, and there's a queen as well. That there's this queen.
I have affinity.
Two queens here actually.
Yeah, I have affinity with Ireland and what is it called? Glastonbury. You know those all those old legends and so forth. They are real.
They say they say that some say that the heart. Some say it's here that the heart chakra is here.
Yeah.
Some say here in Ireland. Some say in Ireland.
That's right.
And others say it's Glastonbury, but then some say it's kind of crossing over.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Between the two of them.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's for me that's since I was a kid, I was surrounding myself with fairy. When I learned reading, the first thing I read was a ghost book.
No fear.
Not only that, it scared it scared the hell out of me. I was a kid. Come on, I was 7, 8 years old, and yeah. Anyway, but what it means is that I wasn't interested in anything 3D. I was reading science fictions by the age of 10. I wasn't interested in Earth, you know, and I read science fictions in Germany that are now movies.
Mainstream.
That's
Mainstream.
movies like Star Trek and those kind of things.
Yeah.
It was so familiar to me, and telepathy and all these kind of gifts that you have, and somebody that has the gift of he was focusing on an object, and that object exploded, you know, these kind of things. And for me, that was, oh my God, I'm home again.
Normal, so-called normal.
Yeah, it's that, and people they would look to somebody else here, either so scary that they run away or that they're misformed or whatever, you know. To me, it's a normal thing. Had always been, you know.
Amazing.
Make a good what you call that,
Writer?
first contact, you know, an emissary or what you call that, and because
you say if they visited you, you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah.
How maybe you're one of them? Maybe. Sometimes, well, exactly, and sometimes the communication. So the communication you're communicating from them anyway. You could be a part of what they're communicating. You actually sometimes you'll be looking for something that you're looking for anyway, or you'll be communicating something that you might be looking for something that you're already communicating to, or communicating from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I
just throw it out there. Maybe totally.
It's blowing my mind, mind you, and it scares me in a way. I don't have fear, no? But when I say it scares me, I don't know. I have been telepathic or empathic all my life, but I didn't know that. I remember where I come from, but I don't know where that is. I remember that I have a true love. I knew it all my life, but I didn't know it, that I knew. But I acted like it. You know, it does that make sense what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Like there were certain times of the year, like definitely like the time of spring, I felt so sad where I should be happy, you know. And I felt such a sense of separation and such a sense of loneliness, because no matter with whom I was, even if when I was married, whatever, I never had a real contact with a human.
No, you're explaining like a connection that you've from a place that's
yeah, absolutely.
That goes beyond human.
Yeah. And far could be from far away. Sukoli kana kukata kana kukata kana.
I asked Hukulo. I don't know if you know Hukulo. I think
Hukulo, Jim Charles.
Yes, and I asked about my blood type. He didn't tell me my blood type, but he said, "You're an alien."
Maybe he is too.
Smack in the face. You're an alien. You're not human.
What did you say when he said that? Or is it guy, is it?
I had nothing to say. I was just sitting there and say, well, probably.
I told my niece this today that I was an alien. Yeah. You're not an alien. I am an alien. I'm an alien in a human form.
Where do you come from?
Shinowakata.
Tumaka.
Kiniewa.
Oh, waka mumana.
Shinowakata.
Da sotana.
I come from the same place where I already started.
From the same place where?
I come from the same place where I already started.
From the origin.
Okay.
The place, space beyond time. The place where I already started.
Oh, that's
The spark.
Shinowakata Kanukuwaka.
Tusa.
Yeah.
Go through the whole
Divine light.
Are you from this galaxy? Are you from this galaxy?
Some say from the future. Shanikiniaka Nukuwakata. Kiniawa Sukuwaka. Shinewakata. Kunuwata, this galaxy, Sukunuwakata, many systems. Sukunuwakata, Kunuwakata.
And Japanese.
Like what his name? I think it is Arcturian.
Ubatita di dana tu titi nika kupatana tu to tu papata titi 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 anaka popata tu titi 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 anaka ta tu 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 titi anaka tu 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 titi titi.
I think we're making contact.
Wata wakaya tumasato.
Matters Butter, wata. Who got shoot the walk on the wata. The constructs are definitely
One day you will know where you come from and who you really are.
Suaka?
Yawaka.
One day you will really know where you
Shunuwakata, kunukuwakata.
who you
Shiniewa sukunuwaka. I know where I come from, right? Shinuwatuwakata, Kinieya wosuwaka, Maiyata, Sunuwaka, Shinieya maoka na Kinieya wosunuwaka. Saniweyata kunuwaka, Mayawata wokana. Kuniwaka, I come from before it even existed. Shiniwata muwakata kiniyaka na waka. Shiniwa wotuwaka. Beyond time and beyond structure. Shiniwa. Beyond thought.
a very, very vast place where you come from when you come from beyond time and space.
Shinuwata. Every manifestation anyway.
Yeah.
Masunuwakata. Kiniyewa. Shinuwata. Sunuwaka, it's like asking somebody, Shiniwata, it's like asking, sometimes it's like asking person one thing, but Sugunuwata.
They smile.
Yeah, you must have been Arcturian at one point.
Shinuwakataka.
Many beings, many things.
Man, imagine, you know what we are? The feet on the ground for our higher self to experience itself. And then the higher self brings it to God. And God experiences himself through your higher self.
Shinuwata. Sunukunuwaka.
And God, wow, I love God. God loves me.
It goes beyond our comprehension. Takawatasana. Sometimes when I'm doing a quantum hypnosis session, the regression that the person experiences is beyond understanding. Is
Yeah.
They say that they come before creation, even before creation. So when
Yeah.
Brother Wesley was saying that, to me that resonated in my entire being. Like, yeah, watana wana, because we go beyond what the human can understand. We go.
Yeah.
I,
I will really have to wait for quite a while to do that.
I was a part of a spiritualist church in Toronto, and about 3 years ago, 5 years ago, a guy asked. I was like, the couple of the women, they were like, "Wes, you have to check out this guy." So I was like, no, I was like, yeah, right, whatever. So your man was supposed to take me on a journey, but I said I'd take him on a journey. So what they do is he works in your energy. So he dialed into the frequency. So he was like, oh yeah, So he started talking about aliens. I said, don't mind about the aliens. Gunga, kingi, gunga, kingi, gunga wa kunnekia. And he was like, whoa. Whoa. Because at first there was the aliens. He was on about these aliens. And I said, you can go there if you want. Keep going. And then we went back to the start. Well, it's not even there. It's already there. And he was like going, this is amazing. Amazing. How have you got the capacity? He said, how have you got the capacity as a human being, more or less, to and I was laughing. I was actually laughing at this stage because the guy was on to me to take. He was supposed to give me a journey, so there was a reverse in it. So I just took him on a journey. I took him on a huge through all the different levels of reality. But I told him, look, you can go check out the aliens if you want. Just go straight back to where I already started. Then he was like, whoa. He was like, whoa. He's like, whoa. Whoa. He's like, whoa. More or less, he's like, whoa. He's like, whoa. And I was like going, yeah. And he's so he's like, how can you like? He's like, how? What? He's like, whoa. He's like, how? He came out. He's like, what book? He's like, how could one person do all this? And then he goes, where do we learn this? And I was like, buddy, there's no book. I said, this is beyond all the books. I started laughing, and then he was like, basically what I wanted to say, where you are, where I brought you there, you're there, but couldn't fathom it.
Yeah, no, yeah, well, it's like they
Couldn't get it.
They don't know what comes out of you. I had a
No,
question.
what I'm saying though, I wanted to bring,
I understand
to bring balance, and
Yeah,
balance to say, right, this is the capacity that you've been brought to, and it's bringing it back to that level of, you'd say, source or whatever, of the original, beyond all the.
I get you when you talk. I live it when you talk. I was just wondering, what kind of work do you do?
Oh no, so I'm a mason. Like my trade is a mason, so I work in the buildings.
Oh, okay.
So
that doesn't fit.
No, I know, but it does though. Because it's all. I'm as I would work in the energetics of it. So the original creators.
Wait a minute. Where did you get all your knowledge from? What did you study?
That's what I mean. I'm speaking it.
It just comes out of you just like that.
I just explained it. I'm a mason.
Yes, so?
I'm a mason.
Yeah, mason is a builder.
I'm a builder. I work with the geometric structures of creation. I'm the formification of information being transferred through different octaves. I am the mason. Sanu, Manu, Kinea, Usukua, Kushana, Manu Kunua, Mia, Mua, Auakata, Yawa. Oyam, Sanu Kunu Kunie, Mata, tu, Mathematics. Oyam the Mason. Sunu Kunua, Shiniea, Masunua, Sukunua, Nia Mama. Wakata, Kinewa, Yuwata, Sawata, Sewata.
Love it.
Kukunuwata.
I really love it. I mean that. I'm very open. Yeah, I said,
So I worked with my trade. I I actually didn't understand why I did my trade. I'm a mason, so I was working with geometry without realizing it, but not realize it, but not realize it at the same time. And when I kind of went through the different stages, because as a kid, I did the astral projecting. I'd read all the books, read all the things as a kid. Well, I didn't actually couldn't read for a long time. But 15, I started reading the certain type of books were put in place. I was astral projecting. I was leaving the body. I was controlling my dreams. There was basically just beings come into my room. There were ghosts actually. There were actually certain things. They weren't great to be honest. But I learned and expanded from them. But my studying, my greatest studying came from doing the job I did. And to be honest, it's broken me up. It has broken me up physically, but metaphysically, I ended up working on other levels. And it's the foundation of what I work with, because it's the foundation what I bring in with, and it's the foundation of understanding what I
yeah,
synthesize.
I get you. So, oh, I really get you. You know.
Yeah. So that's why I would basically have
So,
conversations with certain configurations that certain base plates are put down, and my job is to come in and just bring back restoration.
do you know?
Is that understandable?
Do you know your spiritual origin? Are you aware of who you are in the spiritual aspect?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, for crying out loud. Give me a label.
I wouldn't. My name. I am beyond. I'm beyond names.
Yes, I got you. I know that. I know.
I've been called Zero. I am Zero. I am. If I went into a bank and gave my name, they said you don't have to call me a name. I could go Zero. I am the full circle. I am everything but nothing at the same time. I'm existence before I even started. Sunuwakata kini. That's what they say. I don't know. Shukunuka. I don't even Sunuwa Yawa. Shine kini Yawaka. I have names. I have names. Shina Wasawaka. Kini Yakumawa.
No. So you are awake.
There's no one. There's a ya.
You are awake as a child already. You are not of this earth at all. No. That's not what I say. You are not. You're beyond even the galactics. You're beyond the angelic realms. You're beyond all that.
Do you think that? Do you think I am beyond that?
Wow, that's what you told me.
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say that in words, but that's what I saw.
O kanakini kia. Mosunu wakata. Shinia. Uota. Nia. Mua. Shawa. Kia. Hua. Taua. Nia. Mukaniki. Mukaniki. Sania huaka.
Why I see that, why I think that is because that's where I come from.
Makunukunuka. Makunuka. Beyond explanation from my side anyway, but Shinuwaka Kunuwaka. Because you can go through all this, all this.
Yes.
I respect everything as best I can.
Yeah. What I'm seeing, unless I'm crazy, what I'm seeing is a nameless. you
No,
have
I've many names,
You have many names.
but I've no names. Zero sentence.
That's right.
Zero. I could say I could change my name it to zero, no name, no beginning, no end, full
So
stop.
that means you are also you're working also in the heavenly realms in sacred geometry. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see it on Earth.
Well, it's beyond. Like, to be honest, you can go beyond even geometry, and you can go into different configurations which would be totally different structure, and you can go into other configurations again which wouldn't even have been even existed into some of the mathematical equations that are put into here, into these structures,
So
into
then,
these structures.
then you also know who God is. You know God.
I do and I don't.
You do. I do.
Shukunuwakata.
I know who and what is God. And that is something that I really do.
I recognize the God in you. Masukunu, Mani,
No. That is 3D. That is 3D talk.
That's talk to.
No. That's 3D. That's all 3D. Now you're going away.
No, I'm fully here.
I know 100% who and what I am.
Amazing.
I really do, and it's not a joke. It's not a what you call that ego or anything like that. Because of the higher you go, the less ego you have, because there's nothing to say. Whatever you say, whatever comes out, it's not even it's not even touching the reality, whatever you want to call it, as it really is, because it is so beyond words. That is so beyond anything that you can bring out of your mouth. It is only something that is within.
But then just trust what you're working with, because we're in an age of that understanding. So the understanding that you have, trust that, and then have the similar understanding to have that capacity of understanding that there's certain connections and networks that others work with as well. There's many bridges, and there's many oceans of consciousness. There's many ways to fry an egg.
You come from the purest consciousness.
I'm still learning.
The everything and the nothingness.
Wait, listen. You come from the purest consciousness. That is your birth.
I am what I am.
Yeah, of course you are.
So I am what I am, and you know what? It's
And
beyond my structure and beyond my.
It's beyond you. It's beyond everything, as you said.
And it keeps expanding.
It's beyond. Yeah, it's not like.
God is it's always in a state of becoming. God is not the goal. God is not something that is
never ending.
When you see God like that, then God is stagnant. He is learning through you. He is becoming more and more aware from all his aspects that he has sent out from himself and experiencing himself through those aspects.
Shawa huata kinikia kuno
And he
kanaki.
has humor.
Shinu kuno kako.
Of course
And
he has.
and
Tawaka.
the he might be a she. Shuwakata
A she, a he, an it, and everything. Kawatatu kuaka. Yakawata. Bachata, bachata.
Who didn't know it's like a
Oh,
computer?
Iwaka,
The original computer.
Isn't that isn't that a fantastic life?
Isn't it amazing getting a switch of a hard drive every now and again?
be everything.
Yeah, sukawaka.
Is everything possible.
Nata.
And
Yeah.
everything that we could even, but it goes beyond that, our beliefs here on earth cannot.
Yeah, but throw them away. Throw all the beliefs away because they are not correct.
Sintika.
Shokwata.
It's really true. That is the change of the matrix.
Kunuaka. And it
Because
can be kunikini kiyokoaka. Or
the
it could be on correct. Or it could be beyond correct. Kunuaka.
Yes.
Beyond human correct. Mathematics. So get the mathematics teacher though. I was so bad at maths, and I'm like, thank God for that. Thank God for being so bad at school.
I asked my true self, why am I so stupid here in 3D? She said, you don't need brains.
The school teachers used to say to certain, I never got it, but they said to certain people, you left your brain outside. You left your brain outside.
Yeah,
Brain.
you don't need, I said, I'm too terrible in mathematics. You don't need the mathematics here. She said, you need your mathematics where I am. And then she said, also, you need your mathematics and all that, but what you really need is in the astral. What you're doing, you have no idea. You know, that you don't need that here in 3D. I'll say, okay, I'm going to be number one dumb.
It's very difficult to understand for them because for us that was too basic. And
I found it hard.
It didn't have any purpose, so we didn't feel the connection to them. We already knew them, so we go beyond to something much more simple and at the same time complex. And that's why we didn't feel like the need of attention to this type of math here on earth.
I did kind of feel a bit. I felt
some connection, no? Some.
No, I actually felt I was a bit stupid, to be honest. And
I felt them stupid too.
I actually felt like
I understood that they had connection.
I actually sometimes I'd be like going, because the spellings as well, like I still can't spell great, and the spellings I'd be like going, Jesus, I used to be able to sleep because the spellings were going along my brain, and I'm like, oh, they're going to ask me in the morning, I won't be able to spell. The school teacher, she'd ask me in the morning, I won't be able to spell. So I'd be worrying about the spelling, and
listen what you just said.
Yeah, I was worrying with the spelling. And the funny thing is, though,
you're not listening what you just said.
I am Sunuwaka. I know exactly what you're going to say. Shukunuwaka, Hinewata, Niewa, Wokana. I know what you're going to say before you say it. You do not even have to say it. Shanuwaka, you're talking about the spelling. I know. Sukunuwaka, Tieyama, Woka. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Sukunuwaka, Nieyama, Musa, Sina, Mia, Huka. Did you get that?
It was that.
Shukunuwaka. Taniyawaka. Did you get that? Kunuwaka. Shukunuwaka. So basically, when I would walk in school, I would worry about that, but I would be aware of the universal laws. So I'd know the laws, cause, effect. I would actually know what you would say before you say it to me. Because I would see many of that in the system. So I come in, I wouldn't know the spellings, but I would feel everything. So I was super sensitive, super telepathic, and my spellings would be different to the coordination you would have. So I would be ahead of the game in ways.
No. Ho.
I was lost. I was totally lost.
Spelling is a spell. It's magic, dark magic.
No, I know he's going to wait for say it.
And when you look at the English language is created out of spells. And every time when we talk, and especially when we're using it, we're talking with our programs that we have in there, the way to the I am this, I am that, it's all spells. And what comes after, that is manifestation, that word after I am. Think about that one.
I know. I know he's waiting for you to say it. Shukanuwakata. Kiniawa, as soon as I brought it up, I knew it would be resurrected. Shukanukuwaka.
That is when you understand, okay?
Shukanuwaka.
Instead of saying I understand you, you want to start saying I understand, because you don't want to stand under anymore.
Nukunuwaka.
That's a spell.
Nakinikiawa.
That's when you get that,
Shukuwaka.
Everything changes.
Sukunuwaka.
Wamata uta nikama.
Kanikiawa. Muwaka tunga.
Blew me away. And then I started to analyze, not analyze, to break down the language. All the things we use, you know. It's always this way. There's nothing going up.
Yeah, I'd imagine you're talking about that there's the words that are used, and there's rules. And when I say the rules, so the empowerment of the words that could be used, there was a gravitational force of selective individuals who were aware of the words. They're being transcribed with their own ways, like.
That's what they did. They actually created that language, and they created that language in such a fashion that you're not able to get up and breathe.
But this is why this language. So now you got a kunuwata, miya sua, sukunuwaka.
Sukumanata. You can go through.
Sukunuwaka.
Transcended.
You can very, very well change that when you know the spell. Because that spell is for all the words together, you know. That brings you into the whole thing of language or so. And it's not in every country, no? It's basically in English, and then you have, of course, other places, but not the way it is in English. And it is America is the hub of all life on earth, if you will. If America goes down, everything gonna flatten. And that is why it is mostly happening all in America. But it's nothing to do, I don't know why, whatever that is, I haven't figured that one out. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to ask you something down at.
You don't have to figure everything out.
What?
I said you don't have to figure everything out. Sometimes, because you kunuwaka takanikiawaka. Your information package is probably in the language. Shinikinikiwaka takunukuwata kanikiawa. Shukunuwaka. Yeah. What, your language, you pick up any information for your language?
My language is German.
Ukunuka. Wa, Ewa. Suwakata. Shinewa kunukua.
Yeah.
Siniwata. Mawakanukumba.
That you know, always you know where you
I'm
are.
speaking about your language, your light language. That's why I talk about the language, the light language.
Oh, no, I never do.
Yeah,
You're
because that's spirit and communication.
Yes.
That's why that's why we talk about all along. That's the language. Shunukuwakanakanikiawaka. Because the language, the information, and you're asking about, where did you get this from or where did you get that? The language, it's an information package.
Oh, thank you.
Kunuwaka. I thought you knew that. That's why we kept on about the language. Shukunuwaka. See?
Tatunaka.
Hey, yeah.
Kunuwaka takanukua. Because when you go back into the heart, Shanakwa takunuka takanikia. I don't tell anyone what to do. Kinukua takoduwakata. Kinikia what? But who could do? The decimals of understanding come back to the tributaries of the heart. Shukunu tu 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 kunu kudu tu tu. What's that? Sini.
Yeah. Potri.
Shiku. Kunawa sini.
Yeah.
Ga giye ga ga. Sawata yawa. Mawata.
Yeah.
Batukunukuwaka. Shinikia wa husukinuwaka teiga tata. A bit easier, no?
Here, I am.
Kuna ike nike.
Okay.
Shukata kunuwaka nama. Sanuwata. I'm like a broken record, aren't I? Kini kunuwaka. Jesus. Kunuwaka. That's what I meant to start. I was like, that's what I was going to say. Kunuwakata. Great, kuni shinekuwaka. Do you
If your soul pursue an understanding with the soul of Wesley, and Wesley pursue an understanding with your soul Elga, is much more likely to get to the understanding if you go through the frequencies of light languages than speaking the language here from earth. Kanutana akuta anta. Because with the light languages you transcend the boundaries and the intellect of the mind, and you create the frequency merging with his frequency, kanta, and then you get to that lovely pleasure of understanding and becoming understanding.
Shukunuwaka mayawa hukumwaka. That means the highest respects. Sukunuwaka, highest acknowledgments, and biggest. Kunukuwata.
You mean to tell me that you actually know the words of what you're saying?
Sukunuwa kiniya hutuwakata. Ishmael said shinewata, as Ishmael said from first connect with Ishmael straight away. Kunu ging. I'm using different dialing tones now, but basically it's a frequency, it's a wave, it's many wave bands of information, and the human mind, it's my understanding, I don't want to diss anything or anything. So it'll work on, you're on about English, so it'll work on, this goes into this box, that goes into that box, I don't know, that goes into this box, this is supposed to do that, this do, no.
Yeah, I need my head now. Still.
Is
From
that understandable? Is that understandable? Senua Kaya Kunoa.
Oh, yeah.
Senua.
No,
So it's basically bringing Sukunuka Kuniki things together and separating things as well at the same time. So the matter, like the trying to, for me anyway, try to use my mind to, even some of the things I have to kind of go through it to try and process it, and I'm like going, geez, this, do.
it's not for
But
post.
that's the basics of this. You're beyond it. Sanuwaka, Tiniawa, Mayawa, Tuwaka. You are, and as you're connecting back into the divine intelligence that you already are anyway. Sukuwaka.
Very good. I accept that. I am going to do that from now on because
No, it's fine. Everything's brilliant.
there's a lot of other things too. I can feel that when you do that. I can feel that there is rather than going, let's call it negative, you're actually staying in the positive. And actually, there is also a factor of joy in there.
Exactly, like when you were bringing stuff up, I was feeling it. I'd feel it, which is grand, because when it'll go up, I'd be like, all right. So what happens is this is distribution of information, go through whatever, but the thing is, what happens is this comes through, and it just like a, and it's just as best kind of wiping things clear. So the language is basically dancing the decimals, so it's finding itself. So it's finding it. So it's basically it's divine weaving, really. Divine weaving is cross interfacing the intelligence. So we're cross interfering facing the intelligence of each other, intertwined within this incarnation, whatever you call it, Shunuwaka Takanikawa.
Carnation is a flower. I love that flower, by the way.
Shunuwaka, that's what you probably said.
Karigata shiora. Ikiara
Kuniyukuwaka.
Ochiata.
Sukunuwakata. Kiniyawata. Suwatata. Wotuwaka Nakia. Sawata. And everything Shiniwaka and everything you were saying, everything you said there is relevant. Because that's reality. That's so-called reality at this current time in our period reality. That's like so everything you're saying, if it is and is negative, it is in a way like this stuff is going on.
It's revealing.
Yeah, so but it does need to, like, basically what you're saying is right. What you're saying,
creating more manifestation.
So it's bringing it up to become aware.
See, there are light codes in our language because it's all energy, right? It flows out, it doesn't stay here, it flows out. So basically what we are doing is we're transforming the lower energy into higher energy. And that brings more positivity on the whole planet.
Exactly.
And then at the same time, it brings it, if you will, come to a point where you bring it into the whole of the universe. And then it spreads out from there.
Higher octave, like you're increasing the vibration.
Yeah.
Creation of information.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's creation, so it's vibration, so it's Kunuwata, tuwakata, you're welcome. Kunuwakata. Kiniwaka. Kiyakuwakata. Kiniwa, sukunuwaka, ni kiniwa. Breakthrough. Shiniawa, was that a breakthrough? Kiniwaka, ni kiyawa. Wasuwaka, ni super stuff. Whoa. I did feel, I was like, all right, this one's going to be interesting. Shiniwakata was cool. Sukunukuwakata kanikiwa.
It's really, oh my God, that is really getting out of the,
No kuwaka.
oh my God.
Miracle.
No
You
kuwaka.
can actually deprogram yourself with like,
Shuwakata. Yakanikiwa. Saniyawa hotawaka.
that is,
Yukini.
yeah,
Sukuno. So the so-called, I would have said that earlier on, the so-called things, even what Ismail was talking about earlier on, that when he's saying that well, you deciphered them, so they're deciphering so especially too when we become so expansive that we're connected to so many different things, and then it's we sure being in the body, so at the same time.
yeah.
The language will start. It's like, for me anyway, I can't speak for everyone else, but it's like it's like a streamers. And what it is like if there's any densities, and I'm saying it in a lightful manner, like if there's anything, things that are right. This is bouncing off a decimal, and that's why I say it's beyond a lot of things that I do. It's beyond me, because I'm not. I'm actually, it's like right this. So it just comes in, and it's just basically, it's just pure mathematics. And that's what it is. It's just pure mathematics. Yeah.
The whole universe is built on mathematics.
It's all mathematics. It's pure mathematics. Going back to the basic.
Celestine Water was telling me at one point, I was asking her, I said, what do you really like to do? And she said, I repaired the universe. How do you do that? And then she showed somebody else. I was in a channeling with, his name is Chang Fu, and he is a 9th dimensional ascended master from Tibet. And I was listening to him, and Celestine Water came in, and she showed him what she was doing. And what she was doing was sacred geometry, and she manifested within. It looked like, to him, it looked like that she was painting inside, but it's not that's not the way it goes. But he was not able to reach that what she was showing. And then I started,
the Tibetan you're saying the Tibetan master couldn't reach
ninth dimensional ascended master.
Yeah.
And they're very high. He couldn't understand what she was showing, and I could see it, what she was doing, but she explained it to me after, and it was very simple for her, not for me, of course. She was what she does, and she said God creates the universe, and she meant where she is working with, she creates all that what is inside the universe. It's like it's like God created the matrix of the soul, my soul, and she put her consciousness into my soul. I am part of her. Her consciousness is my consciousness here talking to you right now. And through the time of evolution, or when you do your work and so forth, what will happen is that you merge with your higher self. And that is how I have achieved. And then I don't know anymore going further. She talks, and that is no difference if she's talking or I'm talking. And it is very difficult to explain. And she's always there. I feel her always part of me, or, you know, because I'm part of her.
Yeah.
It's
Part of
amazing.
many things. Amazing.
It's amazing. It's really amazing. And we all have that. You have that.
Yeah. It's like a car. Car is not just one thing. There's
Yeah,
many components in the car.
yeah, exactly.
It's like
It's,
the
it's,
gearbox. But then you break down the subatomically, and then it goes so expansive.
oh my God. Yeah. I once
Whatever.
was consciously in her, merged with her. And I was walking around, and it is pure consciousness. She is pure consciousness.
That's lovely.
And I could just take my hand and plug. I have a question. I take my hand and I bring it down into me, the answer.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it comes directly.
Yeah.
Other times it comes directly, but I don't understand it, and then I start to work it through, and then it's there, you know, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then I experience the whole thing. It's not even, it's nothing to do with the mind, you know. Yeah, because the mind is a computer, and
Reach
it's
beyond the
like
mind.
3D, you know. It's like when you say you go beyond, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. And when I say whatever, it's not even like beyond beyond me. Whatever I even say, I can't. Things I say is like
You don't
my human doesn't my human ability doesn't have the capacity
No,
to fathom the
no,
the
no.
description.
I have the same.
Yeah, there's no real there's no.
No,
I'm just speaking.
That's
you
the most wonderful thing, to be humble and admit that.
There's no to.
For humanity, for many humans, it's very difficult to admit that we cannot really understand the
no,
greatness of things
no. You see, we don't have the words.
beyond.
We really don't have the words for it, because the moment you put a word on it, no matter how elaborated the word is, it's not at all what it is.
No, because it keeps expanding.
It's not only that, it's yeah, well,
because we don't have the ability to get it.
To understand, really.
We just can't become that nothingness. Everything was explained before. It's like being everything and nothing at the same time, and then you get that sense of being there.
Actually, see, what Ishmael brought up there is very interesting with the word, because the expansion can come from the past to the present to the future. So there's so many words that we've used. This will be interesting when you know what the spelling Shinuakata. This so the words we use when we're younger, they'll carry a resonance. So kunukata, kunuko, I am this or I am that. So it's just not that word. It's just not that word. So it's the branches of that we would think we are, So it's not even that. It's the word. There's that configuration of even the energy, of the environment. So all that structure, but it's been created from this and this and that just like music. Confusion.
Confusion, chaos. Tanara Kuamataru.
When you leave the physical body and you go wherever it is you're going, because not everybody goes the same place, you know.
That's
then,
when we get a richer understanding, a greater understanding of what it is.
oh, you will know everything at the
It's like,
moment.
boom, boom.
Yeah, like it's pretty much like that. I experienced that once with Celestine Water. When I merged with her, I became her completely. And I knew everything. I mean, I knew everything. And at the same time, not only one by one, no, at the same time, you know. And how can you, if you would have that experience in your 3D reality, your brain is cutting, your brain is liquid. It's not even liquid, it's not gone. It's combusted. I mean, there is nothing left. Not even powder.
Sometimes when you dial in with the languages, or you dial in a certain waveform when you're in this reincarnation or reincarnation, whatever it is, that experience happens. Similar, you will have your own unique experience, but the within the field, you can bridge beyond all that, all the overlayers, and you're connected back to the same socket you're already connected to anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And I can merge with Celestine Water, although she can merge with me to a fraction. Never mind, she is so vast. Okay, she is so vast.
Amazing.
But even if I go into her consciousness, if I go into her, merge with her, for me, even being there, I still only can take a fraction, because it is so, the vibration is so high, the frequency is so high and so vast that you can only take a little bit, otherwise your brain is fuzzy or
Trying to
whatever.
digest it, trying to digest, and then you're trying to incorporate it here. Maybe some of it it's not understandable for even your field work here. No?
You know that it is, but I'm doing then when I do certain things, I go completely quiet. Quiet means I'm shutting off my brain. I mean, I shut it off, and then something else takes over. For instance, here is not the same thing where I live now, but where I used to live. There were too many streets and highways and all these kind of things, you know. I got lost. I was in a car, I got lost. People are very impatient, etc., racing by, blowing the horn and all these kind of things, you know. Suicide, it's a suicide task. And I got lost several times. That I got lost. I said, oh my God. I totally shut off. I wasn't thinking, I had no more thoughts. And the car was driving on itself. I was being taken home, because I wouldn't know where to go. I had no idea where to go.
You weren't you weren't aware of anything.
I wasn't. I wasn't. All I was aware of was that I stayed in my traffic, that I've done bang into somebody else. I had no idea where I was driving.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, and that the first time that happened, I was so scared and I was so far away, and it was so dangerous to drive there. I couldn't do anything else but, and it was like, no, I was in a trance. I was in a trance in the car. And then we came to one place. I came to one place, one street, and then all of a sudden I knew where I was. Oh my God, now I just have to go down the street on the highway and then I'm home.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then every time when that happened, I just shut up, you know, and then somebody is driving. You know, is that my intuition? I have no idea. I don't want to bring anything forward. You know, I was not driving. I was driving, but I was not.
Yeah, you're like you're guiding the.
I
guided.
took over. It took over. Yeah. And I remember.
Does it feel like it's you though? So
Huh?
is it you? Is it you taking over you? Does it feel it's you?
Yeah, I think so. Could have been, or could be that Raguel was taking over. I also have 2 guardians there with me, and I said, "Oh, yeah, they're sitting in the back seat when I drive." "Oh no, they're right behind you." You say, "Why are you not sitting behind in the seat?" No, that's too dangerous.
I recently had a session with a lady who somebody put some drugs in her drink when she was young, very young. And this man took her somewhere and he abused of her sexually in many ways. And she can only remember flashbacks of in her memory of coming back to moments when he was touching her and when he was having sex with her, but she couldn't move her body or control her body because the drug was controlling her entire body.
That's right.
She remembers when she's in the session, she explains that she remembers how she escaped from the place, and how she started driving her car to go back home. And then she, as she was driving, she lost completely consciousness and she fell asleep on the wheel.
Wow.
She fell asleep on the wheel, and next day she was lying on her bed and she woke up on her bed.
Wow.
And then during the session we asked what happened there, because she doesn't remember what happens from the moment that she fell asleep to the moment until she woke up. And then an archangel came up to talk in the session, and this archangel is her guardian angel, and the guardian angel said that the guardian itself took over, so he controlled the situation. So he or she, the archangel, guided the body.
That's
on
right.
how to get back to safety.
Yeah.
She woke up.
Wow.
This is a true story, and this is something I have recorded in a video. And I have the lady explaining all this stuff. So
I was actually have a look for, because a friend of mine there is kind of, could have gone through similar. Actually, I've met a couple of people who have gone through similar situations. They do say, actually it's funny, they do say that's why a lot of it, they leave the body. Sometimes some of them leave the body, so they want to go, so they won't be there for the experience.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of actually soul retrievals and stuff, you're bringing back aspects of that.
So the higher self takes the consciousness of whatever is of your own consciousness here as a human. So the higher self take the consciousness and includes or puts into the body or replace into the body the consciousness of the archangel. So the archangel moved the body.
They switch. Yes, yeah. They
switch.
switch. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then when the body is already in safety
That's
state,
when I go back.
then it goes back, and then the
that's
human
right.
consciousness come back there.
Some actually, that's where you come across some. If you're aware of it, you see some people. Like I've had a soul retrieval a couple of times. The different aspects of me came back. One is when my brother left. I suppose I left with him, and the people like people, even communication. You find I found it kind of harder to navigate here because there's less aspects you hear. So the more of you hear, the more you're able to navigate here, and that's what the soul retrievals would bring back aspects to you. That's why even if you notice having conversations with some people, they're gone, like they're not there. So they're they're actually gone. They're actually not there. So
That's right.
yeah, it's fairly common. It's fairly common. It's not on a grand scale. It's not well known, but it's fairly common to have people who are like they're so lost, like
Yeah.
yeah. You know, by even talking to them.
I got targeted. It's a few years back now, but it was when I really started to open up, and I was on a highway driving home. All of a sudden, I felt this incredible pressure pressing down, as if my head was pushed into my chest. I couldn't breathe. And what happened was my eyes, I lost control over my eyes. When I was looking up, my eyes rolled. When I was looking down, my eyes rolled, really, When I was looking this way, my eyes were going that way, It's like I had no control over my eyes. And the pressure was, then when I said, get away from me, it stopped for a moment, and then it started again, but even stronger. And I was on a highway, it was pretty, yeah. And what I did is I called to Michael. I said, Michael, help me, anybody up there, help me, I was screaming. And I was still driving in almost the same situation, but right for me, in front of me, was an exit. So I took that exit. I had no idea where I was, and I couldn't even see it, but I took the exit. And then I looked to the right, and I saw a parking lot. No, I said, that's not the proper one. Then I drove a little bit further, and there was a parking lot, and there was a restaurant and some stores and so forth. I said, here, and I went in. I went over the sidewalk, over the where that thing there is. I went over it. It happened that there was a car coming, and I was completely blind. My eyes, they rolled back, and I saw nothing anymore. I made it on the parking lot. I made it just wherever I could. I just let it be. Okay. The moment I stopped the car and the moment I opened my side door, the pressure left. Okay, so I went into the restaurant. I started eating eggs. I wanted a cup of coffee, I put, I think, 5-6 spoons of sugar in there, because I wanted,
grounding. Seems like you were grounding when if you're
yeah,
looking to be grounded.
Something like that. And I said, I need to eat something.
You're probably eating to ground. Well, your sound like you're grounding, trying to ground.
Imagine all that. How strong I am.
What do you think it was? What feel? What do you think it was? Were you going through
That was definitely an entity
entity? Wow,
that wanted me. Yeah, I could smell it. It smelled
wow,
of
that's
it smelled
wild.
of, yeah, you know who it was?
Wow, that's
It
crazy.
was that being, that entity that smells like you know, when you have matches and that then you blow them out, the smell.
Yeah, I
That,
don't.
that was the smell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow,
Phosphorus.
that was the darkest of dark.
wow.
It,
I used to get visits by something that was pretty rough in my teenage years, right, in the physical, and it wasn't. But it's learning. For me, it was learning. I learned. I had to learn. Learn. It taught me. I ended up taught me with to navigate certain situations and stuff. Yeah.
it's
You're lucky.
yeah.
You're lucky.
I saw him several times, twice actually, after that. And the last time I saw him, he was but he manifested for me. It was so gory, so terribly gory. And he was sitting there on his throne.
Do you know what? Can you describe him? Because I think I might know who you're talking about. Can you
Of
describe
course
him?
I can describe it. You know, of course, often what they do is they put things on him too, but it's not him.
Yeah.
It's he didn't have any of those guys. He was actually he was beautiful in a way, but he was gory. He was really
Gory.
this gory, yeah. Blood everywhere, and there
Yeah.
were guys in front of him, and he was using them,
Yeah.
you know. And then he looked at me while he was doing that, and I looked around and I said, "Oh my God, no wonder that people are so scared." And then I looked back at him, and we locked eyes, and I just kept on looking and looking and looking.
Jesus.
Did not flinch one bit. He was the one that looked away.
You're unreal.
That's my nature. That is how
No,
God,
you're unreal. You're a pure rebel.
yeah, God designed me that way.
You know you're a pure rebel. Even when you were saying gory, I was actually starting to kind of naturally laugh. Like not laugh, but I could feel that like you're laughing like in a way that whatever way you were grand about it. Like that's why I
Gory,
said you're a rebel.
there's a lot. Gory means blood, a lot of blood,
Yeah. I know, but when you were saying it, I was kind of getting it that it was kind of you
all
weren't
that
you
stuff.
weren't bothered by it. Like
Babies,
I
babies.
know.
Never mind. I don't want to go there.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't flinch. I didn't
I
flinch.
know.
I didn't think anything. My mind was blank. The only thing I was thinking, yeah, well, that is scary for people,
Mm.
And then I looked at him, and it was terrible. But it was dark, but it was, and then the color of the light, but the lighting was sort of reddish. He made a real fantastic
Good job.
picture,
Yeah, good job.
And I looked at it and said, "Wow, I wouldn't like to live there, mind you." It was. And then what about was it a few days later, maybe a week or so, there was what's it called? Nike shoes, running shoes, okay? And on the bottom as a sole, the sole, but there was no sole, there was all empty. And they were advertising that, and there was human blood under.
Wow.
Yeah. And that there was a big outrage, and then they took it off the market.
Jesus.
Is that good, Robert?
Unreal.
I
No, I know, it's unreal. That's unreal.
mean, there's no words that one can really put on that, you know. But for me, being so cool, you know, completely detached from all that,
Unreal.
and just watching that and looking at him, and not thinking of anything, not feeling anything at all, you know. I just something switched in my head, you know. It's like yeah.
Yeah, you weren't gonna steal, just basically to look the straight in the eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you see, this is, you go to the darkest place, to the lowest that you can. What is on the other side? The highest.
I was gonna say that you probably whatever you had to go through it, maybe there's a learning.
Yeah.
Not gonna go.
It's amazing. I mean, I'm not talking about that because of ego or anything like that. You know, it's just things that exist.
Kunuakata. No, ego. Actually, there's one thing I was going to say. That's amazing. And Ishmael, your videos are amazing, man. When you put in the lady through, is it what Lord? What did
Lord Arturus.
Arturus. Wow, you're doing some. You are so in tune, man. You're so in tune, and you're doing it nice and gentle too. Like you really, really.
I love it. I just love it. I just become one with what is happening there.
I noticed that there's a lot that's been said comes up in this, no?
Ratuna katusata. A lot. It's super connected. Super connected. Incredible.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like going, wow, this is super in tune.
Whoever see those videos and then he experienced these videos here is going to connect the information. And they are gonna get confirmation of what's going on with the light languages and everything that we download.
Where are you having those videos that online that one can see them?
Some of them they are, and especially a series of them that Wesley is talking about them. It's a series of videos where people were asking me questions, and I was bringing these questions to the sessions. Random people were asking me questions, and then I was asking Lord Arturus this question whilst the lady was under the state of quantum hypnosis.
Amazing.
And it's so beautiful, so beautiful.
You got a good you got a good. Well, you're really in depth, especially when you're really in depth with it. And yeah, you could have nicely dealt with even the. Yeah, I thought it was great. I only seen actually the one. I seen the one and I was like, wow, that's because I was on my way. It was actually the weekend. I messaged there. I was on the way, and I was like, whoa, that's yeah, powerful.
It's powerful. Very powerful.
And you know, I'm really surprised, pleasantly surprised, actually, when I listen to our conversations that we have. And it's just so constructive, if that is the right word to use. It's so expansion, so much expansion, you know, and yeah, I feel my own expansion happening. My shifting, I'm shifting almost daily.
Good on ya. Good on you. You are. You're doing great work. Kuno wakata kinikiawa. Shu wakata kunuwa. Kawakata kunuwata. Sini ya woshukuna. You're going to say that I don't know what I don't know. Kunawa kani kini ya kunuwa. Say I don't know. Shani ya mo kunowa tata kunowa sa. Sukowa. Tie ya mama. Utayawa. Your connection with the birds coming through as well, big time earlier on. Through it. Actually, your connection through the birds, your own personal connection through the birds, was coming through the language big time.
Oh, I speak birds.
You could see it. I could see what you was big time coming through. That's what I was getting into it. Yeah. If I use my human senses, sukunuwakataka.
Tusanaka.
Sanayawata. Sanuwata.
Tusa ota ishan ukwa.
Ishmael, is the T-shirt? Is that Sanu Kunuwakataka? Are they chakras? Yeah.
Yeah, they are the chakras.
That's super cool. That T-shirt, man.
Yeah. It's a hoodie. No. Actually, what I love is the geometry in the symbols.
Yeah.
That's what I love the most about it.
There's probably a reason why the guy has done that. Especially,
maybe he thought about that.
Definitely, and it's
maybe he wanted to break the norm
structure, and especially if he's got the ability to put down the geometry or put that, because you still kind of need to, maybe not. Maybe it's like, right, just the printing thing, throw on here. Right? No idea.
Maybe the printer just turn it around there. But this is a huge example of practically everything. It doesn't really matter.
No. It reminds me of like when I was going out years ago, and with my friends, we used to wear glasses with no lenses, just for reactions, and I just do stupid stuff like it's just pure reaction, because they're basically people that don't. First of all, it's just do the most odd stuff just to get reactions, because they don't. They're like, can't believe. Just maybe just shaving your head and put boxes in your head, or doing something stupid. Not even stupid. You're like, all right, stick a couple of lines here, like just wait for reactions. And you walk into a local bar and got 3 lines going down the side of your head, or got one line going down this one. They're like, story of this.
Because people's reactions are priceless.
Brilliant.
They are amazing.
They're like,
oof, you can laugh so much about it.
I don't know, I don't remember how old I was. I was a teenager, I think. And mini skirts came just out. And I found a dress that was a crocheted or whatever. But the skirt was kind of short, even shorter than mini, So I was balancing on the street, I had some little heels on, and wiggling my hips a little bit from one side to the other while I was walking. There was a car coming from behind, that is, and he drove right in the lamppost. I had no idea at that time.
Did you check was he okay? Did you ask him was he okay?
I had no idea. I was just walking forward. I pretended nothing happened.
Whoa.
Because I had no idea what I was doing. I did not know what I was doing.
Well, you're only young. You're a teenager. It's like anything.
Yeah, I didn't wear that dress at home. I tried. I put it on outside in the bathroom,
Yeah,
because if I had that, if I would bring that home, they would
I know.
take my head off,
Yeah.
But I had no idea what I was doing,
Yeah.
I was so darn innocent as a
Times of disconnection to prepare yourselves for the full connection, so that you can appreciate it more. That's what I got when you were saying that.
yes,
Because I had the same feeling when I was a teenager. It's like I had period when I was so aware of everything I was doing, but there were other periods when I was so disconnected, so disconnected.
Yeah.
And when I asked just now, I got that message. It's like this connection to value, the connection to give value to being connected.
That all has to go. Mother wants to ascend. So
I'm ready to send anyway, so I'm gonna rock out, right? Keep rocking the light. So whatever you're seeing, or whatever's coming through, keep blending the light. Shukunu wakata, kinuyama, musukunua, tuwatata, uyawa, shina Tunuwa, dancing particles, tunuwa kaniyawa. Back to the one. The kunuwa da da da. The infinite divine kunuwa kata intricate intelligence.
I love beautiful painting. It is very difficult to look at that light behind you. That is flashing. That's hard. You don't have that next week, no?
No, it's a different one. I mean the meeting we have another one. Yeah, it's every week. It's every week.
Yeah, well, I'm coming as fast as I can, I always have to bring my babies to bed.
It was lovely meeting you guys. And Taku Tantanawata. Thank you, lovelies. Thank you. And have a wonderful weekend and week ahead. Tanuaka.
Same for you too. And I think that maybe next time we talk a little more light.
Yeah.
It's so.
Kunuwaka takinikiwaka.
Everything is perfect the way it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm pushing Michelle in the front because I don't want to be the only one that talks.
No, everything perfect. Takatun tanakata.
Peace out. God bless.
God bless. God bless.
Bless. Good night.
Good night.
Good
night, lovely. Good night.
Week 167. Like languages and collective healing.
International Encounter Online.
With Ismaila Rodriguez and Michelle Moulet.
Balancing love frequencies.
Free entry.
Ho, ho, ho.